Season 5 finishes with a bang.
You watched them all, Kev?
I watched them all. Season 3, her name was Love?
Yeah.
Okay. Where she burns on the fire?
Yeah.
Hey, dude,
Spoiler alert.
chill. Dang.
But season 4 is in Paris, and it's weird. And then season 5 is better. That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll quickly move through that as quickly as I can.
Okay. So you're on you, and I need a new show. Maybe I'll go with a rip.
Yeah, rip.
Maybe I'll
Sounds good.
Take that from Jordan. Jordan's with Royal Comfort Home Services as well, giving us the recommendation right there. Right here on KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Drive sliding in here. These boys are going to get you home this afternoon, and I guess we can ask you guys what we started with. Was that the most boring Super Bowl of all time?
I mean, not for me. I really enjoyed it. I loved it.
You like watching the Patriots lose like me?
I loved watching the Patriots lose. I did not want to see them win. And just admittedly, and you guys know me, I had Seattle -4.5. I took the alternate line -13.5. I took the under and had Kenneth Walker to win MVP, which I gave out multiple times on Friday during Friday's show. So I ended up just cleaning up. So I had a big smile on my face the whole time. I totally understand why people, thought it was boring. But you know what? Years ago when the Rams played the Patriots, I was kind of fascinated with that one too. There's different ways to but I know the casual viewer was upset. But me personally, I happen to love it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching two teams, especially defensively, right? There's one thing, and I know I'm an offensive guy, but there's nothing better than watching a defense just go to work. All right, the way that they interact with each other, the way that they gang tackle. And so it was fascinating to just watch Seattle dominate defensively.
That was crazy.
And then, of course, like the game in general, it's like, this is the damn Super Bowl we're talking about. So, of course, would I want to see fireworks and a 40-point game from each of them and going back and forth? That would have been fun. But at the end of the day, what do I always say, Z? Defense wins championships. So it was good to watch the defense dominate.
Wasn't this the best scenario then? Because I said this earlier because I've really been conflicted. And it's like, okay, the Super Bowl was boring, but the Patriots lost in the best way that they could lose. Like, it wasn't ever close. I know they scored at the end of fourth quarter finally, but it's like, did we just see the best version of that? Because the entire game, the only thing I was doing, because I was Polly Pissy Pants, is I said, Bo would have made that throw. When Drake May's out there playing hero ball, I was like, Bo would have made that throw. Bo would have made this throw. Bo would have done this differently. So everything I saw the Patriots do, I tried to look at it through the lens of like, what would the Broncos have done with a healthy-ish J.K. Dobbins? Because the Ramondre Stevenson stuff would have been J.K.
Yeah. But
some of those throws that Drake May's playing hero ball, because that's what he does, I was like, oh, Bo wouldn't have done that. Bo would have tried to hit this guy instead.
So I didn't even really allow myself to think about Bo Nix during the game. Bo was never going to play in the game. I did, and I understand why you did, Cease. But I found myself during the game getting upset at Sean Payton all over again about the 4th and 1. Because when Seattle kicked that field goal to go up 9-0, in my head, I'm like, this is game. The game is over. The Patriots could not move the ball on Seattle. First downs felt like points for New England. And watching them get so, not even humanized, but humiliated by Seattle's defense, for me personally, I'm thinking back to the AFC Championship game. And again, I know they wouldn't have had Bo, but a trip to the Super Bowl is a trip to the Super Bowl. Even if they would have got their head kicked in, like whatever. But I saw like stylistically a game being played in a similar fashion, low-scoring, tight game where the opposition, and I know it's 4th and 3, I think, when they kicked the field goal instead of 4th and 1, so it's not apples to apples necessarily. But I just go back to that decision, and the game would have been over. In my humble opinion, and it would have been more hard fought, I think, than what the position that Seattle forced New England into. But man, I started to get frustrated again during the game. I did.
No, I mean, when I look at it, it's hard for me to picture the Denver Broncos in there without Bo Nix. Because it's like, okay, yeah, we get there, and I understand the Super Bowl is a Super Bowl. We'd be happy. But when you get there, the ultimate goal is to win. And I'm thinking, okay, does Jarrett Stidham do enough? Can he do better than Drake May? Now, of course, I do believe we have a better offensive line that would have been able to hang tight, hopefully. But you still had Jarrett Stidham in there. You still had Marvin Mims that he didn't get going this year, and when he did, Bo Nix was the one to get him going in the playoff game. We didn't have a run game. So in my head, I'm like, what would it really have looked like, even if the Denver Broncos were in there with a good defense? It might have probably been the same way, where you have Jarrett Stidham running for his life, RJ Harvey getting stuffed at the, with a 1 yard or 2 yard gain. And so I didn't, like Zach said, I didn't allow myself to kind of get like so upset with us not being in there, because it just wasn't meant to be for us this year, obviously.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be, but man alive, you think about next year, of the final 4 teams, Rams, Seattle, Broncos, Patriots, who can be back? Rams and Seattle, certainly on that side of the bracket. Those 2 teams are going to be there. San Francisco, Eagles, right?
Sure.
Broncos, yes. I can't say the Patriots will, though, because of Buffalo making the change they should have made a while ago with Sean McDermott and, promoting Joe Brady. That might be just the thing that makes it finally Josh Allen's year. So I think if we just take the final 4, like who's going to be back there, 3 of those 4 could be in that conversation again. I'm not sure. It's the Dan Marino thing. That's been stuck in my craw this entire time. Even when Bo was healthy, I said, everyone, this is your best shot. Don't ever think that, well, Bo's just a second year, and now he's going to have a bunch of these.
You can't.
Dan Marino went to 1 Super Bowl in his second year and never went back, never sniffed it. So, is that just what happened to Drake May? Maybe. Because the AFC is going to be much tougher.
No, it's going to be much tougher, but also we have to remember, Cease, it's going to be much tougher for the Denver Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
Who set the all-time NFL record with 11 one-score games, and now you have a first-place schedule. And your orange and blue today partner, Andrew Mason, wrote a piece a week ago, and we quoted it, and we cited his work. And it was 3 things that historically we need to be aware of. And we had the conversation last week on, I think Tuesday or Wednesday about it, and it was – I was not telling you what's going to happen, but I was using that research and that data to say this is what has happened. So it's no crystal ball. And you look at teams, and the research was incredible, but if you look at teams historically that had a season like Denver's, that win so many tight games, and then you also multiply that, or not multiply, but in addition to that, you look at defenses in the last decade that are 1 and 2 in total defense, and what the regression is the next year. On average, you move down 9 slots, and it's just there's a lot of stuff there. Oh, it was the 1-score wins, that many, when you have 9 or more, and the Broncos had 11, and it was stunning, the regression. The total defense, and then the third thing, or the first or second total defense year over year, and what the natural regression is. It's hard to maintain a level of elite defense. And then the third thing was teams like Denver's that have point differentials over the course of a season that was as small as Denver's was this past year. Historically, man, it just sort of flips on you. And again, not saying that this is what's going to happen to the Denver Broncos, but I think that we should just be acutely aware of what has happened to teams like Denver the year after a year like this one.
Oh, and then you can also add in, you got to stay healthy. The Denver Broncos have been one of the most healthiest teams in the NFL. When does your luck run out with that? I mean, at some point, you are going to get banged up. You are going to get hurt. So if you start to deal with injuries like Baltimore, when you had Lamar Jackson that kept going in and out of this year, and it's just you start to have main guys go down, it's not going to be the same. And now you look up and you end up losing 3 or 4 games because you don't have your star players there.
Man, it's one of the reasons why it's dangerous what they did this last year. It's dangerous when you add Dre Greenlaw. It's been hurt a lot. Talanoa Hufanga has been hurt a lot. J.K. Dobbins has been hurt a lot. Evan Ingram been hurt a lot. And you had 4 of those guys, and Huff made it through the year. Yep. J.K. did not. Dre did not. And Ingram was a ghost, basically. So I agree with you. I think the Broncos need to maybe put a little bit of the hubris. One thing I don't need is Sean Payton talking about, we got Bo Lowry, man. We don't need anybody. We're staying healthy forever. Don't tempt the football god, Sean.
Yeah, I agree.
And I was told, I'll tell you off air who told me this, that Sean wasn't going to go to the Super Bowl anyway. because I had mentioned some stuff of like, hey, why wasn't Sean at the Super Bowl? Because it's weird.
Yeah.
Especially with like Kay Adams and stuff. And we asked the questions that others can't, and that's fine. That's what we're supposed to do, is ask these questions. And I was told he wasn't going to go anyway. So whether that's real or made up because he wasn't there and he wasn't talking about that 4th down play, which is all anybody was talking about at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, get there this next year, man. Get there. But I said 13 wins this year. I can probably, when the schedule comes out, I can probably say right now, today, I'm not going to have them at 13 wins.
Yeah.
Look what happened to Kansas City.
Yeah.
With all the one-score wins they had a year ago.
Yep. That's a really tough thing to maintain.
Yep.
And Sean will be the first person to tell you, you're not building off where you just finished from.
You're 0-0.
You're 0, and you got to go all the way back to the starting line. And so we'll see what it looks like. But it should be a fascinating offseason. Are the Broncos even closer than we thought after what we saw last night? And what were our biggest takeaways from Super Bowl 60? That's next.
Does Sean Payton still have a major blind spot in his offense?
Why the hell? And I'm so confused about this, and this is now a 3rd straight year that Sean Payton, for 3 straight years, has failed to incorporate Marvin Mims in a more meaningful way on a Sunday-by-Sunday basis.
He won't obey his eyes.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
This is Carla Hall for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious, farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties, we've got classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040 and Jacobs Law with another cool story to share. James called 303 Law 4040, and he's like a lot of our clients, not looking to get rich, but he just didn't want to get stuck with a bunch of medical bills. So we met with James like we do all of our 303 Law 4040 clients in person, and it's a good thing we did because we noticed James did not look so good. We sent him to the hospital to get checked out, and they did wind up admitting him. In the end, we got him feeling better and $125,000. He was over the moon. He came into the office to pick up his check and rang that victory bell. And the really cool part is James surprised us with a check of his own, a donation so we could keep the best free meal in Denver coming each and every first and third Thursday. If you've been injured, you may be like James, not looking to get rich, but not sure what to do. That's why we're here to help. Just give us a call at 303-LAW-4040. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303-LAW-4040.
Hey guys, your boy Mark Schlereth here for my friends at Xfinity. Now, when Team USA is on, you can almost see the moment when the kid starts believing, hey, I could be next. Now, while Xfinity can't guarantee that, they can guarantee something super important. That's your internet price won't change for 5 years. No contracts, no commitments. So, while your kid's ordering online or streaming highlight reels, your Xfinity internet price won't change. It will not budge. And who knows, by the time the next Winter Olympics roll around, your kid could be getting fitted for their very own Team USA uniform. And guess what? You'll be paying the same price for reliable Wi-Fi. And there's even more to enjoy with Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 10 years. That's a $10.99 value each month. Xfinity, imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto-paid with stored bank account. Taxes, fees, extras. Actual speeds may vary.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer. Exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney. Tuesday afternoons on The Drive. And Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth. All season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app.
Off and rolling. Here on a Monday, February 9th, the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday. What up, Bill?
Woo! What's going on, man? Hey, it's a beautiful day out there
Oh
today.
my gosh, it certainly is.
70 degrees. Some might think it's 69 degrees. I was checking my weather report. Mine said 70 degrees. So
It hit 70? Did it hit 70?
Yeah. I think at one point it may have been 71. So it was able to hit 70 at least there for a couple hours. So I'm excited about that, man.
I wasn't sure what the temperature was. All I know is when I went for my walk today, I usually try to walk for an hour before this show.
You got it in this time, right? You didn't get it in Friday.
No, I didn't. But I did today, and it was, I think, my first day this year when I went out with just a T-shirt on, and it had been a while since I did that. So it's gorgeous. We are spoiled here in the Mile High. It almost does feel a little bit weird, like something's like, okay, like winter never really came, and it's February.
I'm a little nervous for summertime, to be honest, with the fires.
Yes,
with the fires,
it is
the 4th
super
of
dry.
July. I mean, it's something that you have to watch out for. And now when you own a home, as you know, you're kind of more on edge of like, hey, look, guys, if you're going to be popping these firecrackers on July 4th, don't do it by my house, because I definitely don't want to sit there and have my house burn up.
No, of course not. Of course not. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. All right. Mine was busy and eventful. We'll get to it a little bit later. I'll share some stuff from the weekend. But last night, Super Bowl 60.
Yes, sir.
Without the Denver Broncos, they were not invited to the party, man. And I meant what I said when I was watching just how pathetic New England was offensively. I did started to, not like, it wasn't like anger, but it was like retroactive frustration all over again. Like restarting the clock on just how frustrated I was on that decision that Sean Payton made, that as I'm sitting there at Mile High watching the game, screaming, take the points, I got upset all over again. And again, not anger, that would be too strong of a word, but it was frustrating.
It's very frustrating, Zach. I mean, you're sitting there, you're one game away. The Broncos were one game away and actually one half away from going to a Super Bowl, something that we all dream about. It's something for our show. It's like, hey, we were going to be there, be able to just experience that, talk to the players, mingle, and it was just going to be a great time. And, of course, like I said earlier, Z, things happen for a reason. And that's why I wasn't mad. I was frustrated. I wasn't upset, because I look at it like, okay, Bo Nix wasn't going to be there. J.K. Dobbins, even if he said he was going to play, who knows what he was going to look like?
No, yeah.
So at the end of the day, you get into the dance, but you're not really ready to go because you don't have the dudes to compete with someone like the Seattle Seahawks. Then you're just there. You're happy to be there, but in my head, I want to win it. I want to feel like we can win it. With Bo and a healthy J.K. Dobbins, you had a great chance to win a Super Bowl, but without them, and you're just at the party.
That would have got ugly. That would have got ugly if it was Stidham but where I sit is that, and I think we may see it a little bit differently, but like I find incredible value with simply going to the game. playing in the biggest game in American sports, even if it was Stidham. Now, you're not going to beat Seattle. I don't think that they beat Seattle with Bo. I'm going to be real. I think that the Seahawks are just a level above where the Denver Broncos are.
I'm with you on that, man.
So you agree with that?
Yeah, we can discuss, we can talk about it,
Sure.
but truly, like I sat there, I watched the game, and it's like even with a healthy Bo Nix,
Yeah.
in no good run game, you're not beating Seattle because Seattle is just too dominant up front. Their defense is just that good.
Yep.
And offensively, they're balanced enough to where they were going to get the points.
Yep. And honestly, like that's not a conversation I think is specific to the Broncos. I think no matter who came out of the AFC was going to get beat. It could have been Buffalo. It could have been New England. It could have been Denver. Like you sent me the stat. The Rams and the Seahawks played the AFC and went a combined 11-0 with an average margin of victory in double figures. I mean, that is a powerful stat. That is a powerful stat. But that being said, to go back what I said 3 minutes ago, like in my opinion, I just think that for historical value, down to the answer of a trivia question, going to the Super Bowl and going through that experience for the franchise, for the players, for the fan base, the 2 weeks leading up to it, the pomp and circumstance, the everything about the Super Bowl. Obviously, you want to win it. But in this case, it would have been nearly impossible without Bo Nix.
Yeah.
But that being said, the Broncos still should have been in the Super Bowl. And that frustrated me all over again last night when I saw just how pathetic the Patriots were, specifically on offense, and that they came into Denver and scored 10 points and went to the biggest game in American sports.
I feel you, but this is where we separate because it's like it was pathetic for the New England Patriots. But my guessing is it would have been pathetic for the Denver Broncos offensively as well.
It would have been. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Because of the firepower that was not there. And so although for us Broncos fans, we would have been excited to be able to go to the Super Bowl and have our team there, the ultimate goal has always been to win. When you had someone even like Peyton Manning, you knew you had a chance. And I know at the end in Super Bowl 50 when we won, defense did a lot of the work, but you still had the sheriff there.
Yeah.
All right, your starting quarterback. In this case, we would have just been happy to be there knowing that we're in the dance, but we can't get a number. We don't know how to dance, and we're just sitting there.
But would you rather be on the outside listening to the music? At least you're in the gym. At least you get to see the disco ball. At least you tell your younger brother you were there. Like I still even if they went and got their butts kicked. And look, this is just my view of it. This is just my view of it. Because I know that reasonable minds can definitely disagree on this one. But the Seahawks were. You talk about like a complete team. That's the Seattle Seahawks. And they have basically no real weakness. They can throw it on you. They can run it on you. They are historically great stopping the run.
Yep.
They have great corners. They stop the pass. I mean,
special teams, we tend to forget about special teams, but their special teams is one of the best to do it, especially the kick returner Shahid, who's a phenomenal kick returner, and actually this year when he got to Seattle had a couple big-time punt returns for touchdowns.
He did.
That swing game. So you're right. That was just a well-balanced Seattle Seahawks team that took the Denver Broncos draft picks, found the right pieces, got a quarterback that they truly, I don't know if they necessarily believed in, but they said, hey, we can win with. A veteran-savvy Sam Darnold who's been around the block, who had a great year the year before that with the Minnesota Vikings, and they went out there and they won. But they did it because they knew that they had the defense to do it with. And they had an offense that had a running back that was solid and a quarterback that could still sling that rock when asked to. So they were a well-put-together machine. And it showed, and that's why they're Super Bowl champs.
Yep, and I'll tell you, a draft pick that they gave the Seahawks, the 5th overall pick in the 2023 draft, man, he was among the 3 or 4 most impactful. I'm talking about Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah.
He was one of the more impactful players. I legitimately thought that if 1 or 2 things went his way differently, he could have been in the Super Bowl MVP conversation. And what I mean by that, he basically forced a fumble that didn't get ruled a forced fumble because his teammate grabbed it out of the air, so it got ruled as a pick six. But like, man, oh man, that dude was flying around, and it was masterful from a coaching perspective because he was only asked to blitz 33 times in the regular season. So that's 12 regular season games for him, 33 times in 12 games. He hadn't been sent on a single blitz for the Seahawks in the last 4 games. And then he blitzed Drake May 7 times. And he is so violent and he's so physical getting through the line of scrimmage. And the dude is running a freakish speed. And he was just, man, if you appreciate defense, like that was a masterclass.
Well, see, it goes back to this.
And and by the way, that was a Broncos pick. That was a pick that was supposed to be like 25th and ended up being the 5th pick because they won 5 games.
And then you got to put in there this. Sean Payton got outcoached by Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel got outcoached by McDonald.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
And this is where coaching matters. Coming up with a great game plan, seeing something for the first time, right? Shaking up that rookie or the second-year quarterback in Drake May. Drake May didn't think that was coming. Drake May thought there was going to be a lot of pressure on the inside. All of a sudden, the outside pressure from the cornerbacks, the safeties, and they didn't have anything for it. So that's when you get out-coached. So all around, the Seattle Seahawks were well put together, well coached, and that's why they won it.
Well, and I'll give myself a baby pat on the back here, giving out Kenneth Walker for MVP multiple times on Friday's show, and that ticket cashed, and it should have been even more of a landslide because he had the breakaway run that got called back from his teammate. I think it was a holding call. Yeah. But Kenneth Walker, and there's more conversations to be had there because if he becomes available. Should the Broncos make a run at the Super Bowl MVP? That's next.
The champ! Are you ready? Do you consider yourself a super fan? Well, now's your chance to prove it. It's Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan Super Fan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040, sending you to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. A pair of 2-night event tickets, airfare, and hotel all included, plus a $500 Visa card. So get in the ring and enter now at DenverSports.com/superfan. That's DenverSports.com/superfan.
What's going on, fellas? Happy Monday. And if you've been dragging through your days, tired, gaining weight, losing motivation in the gym, not sleeping well, or just feeling off, you might be dealing with low T. It's more common than you think. Starting in your early 30s, men start to lose 2 to 3% of their testosterone every year. It sneaks up on you, but then all of a sudden, bam, it hits you right in the face, and you're not the same guy you used to be. When you're dealing with low T, it can cause libido, poor sleep, afternoon crashes, brain fog, and even feelings of sadness and depression. But you don't have to live like that, man. Because at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, they're experts in treating men's sexual health conditions and also have great low T treatments out there for you. They've successfully treated tens of thousands of men in Colorado that are dealing with the same thing you are. And now they're helping men go even further with targeted body composition programs, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PAD, and more, guys. All designed to boost metabolism, improve recovery, increase energy, and accelerate fat loss. Most men who start the treatments notice changes within weeks. Higher energy levels, better workouts, clearer focus, waking up refreshed, and that sex drive that we all deserve to have will be significantly enhanced as well. All I need you to do is go take their low T quiz on their website. It's a simple 10-question quiz full of yes or no answers. Then you can schedule a consult where they will draw your blood and review your results with you in 30 minutes. The appointment is just $99, and if you begin treatments on the day of your appointment, the visit is free. So don't wait any longer. There's 5 locations out there to serve you. Go get treated, guys. Give them a call today at 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, it's Zach By here. Protect your home with 50-80 exteriors and their James Hardy siding. TimberTech decking, and Pella Impervia fiberglass windows. They also offer 60 months, no interest financing, 5280 exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Do you want the lowest rate for life? Get our 4.75 5-year fixed. APR is 5.89.
Did you say 4.75% fixed for 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah, I want that, but what if rates fall?
Our lowest rate for life program takes over. If rates fall even as little as 0.5%, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee and no limits to the number of times used. Only at U.S. Mortgages. Call 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
This Valentine's, I want to make it really special. Kick it up a notch and tell her exactly how much I love her.
At Williams Jewelers, we've created our one-stop Valentine's package that makes telling your true love exactly how you feel. I'm Steve Williams.
And I'm Bruce Williams. You see, we're one of Colorado's largest fine jewelers with the designer brands she knows and loves, like Tacori and Hearts on Fire.
Thousands of quality, iconic, and yes, affordable pieces you won't find in any other store, starting at under $300.
And now, through Valentine's Day, with every purchase of $250 or more, you get a fresh cut rose and a bottle of wine as our gift.
Guys, it's one-stop shopping.
This year, more than ever, Williams Jewelers in Cherry Creek North.
And Williams Jewelers in Inglewood at Bellevue and Broadway.
We're Denver's first family of fine jewelers.
And your one-stop Valentine's store.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle, but now I see the world perfectly near and far without any glasses thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
Tune in Tuesday afternoons for Injury Insights with Zach Bai and Dr. Joseph Ramos to hear the latest injury news on your local teams and around the world of sports. Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
Need a plumber? Euro Plumbing has the lowest prices in town. Rock bottom prices on whole house repipes, sewer line repairs, even water heaters. 720-500-3000.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach Bai and Phillip Lindsay.
If he becomes available, and that could be a big if, should the Denver Broncos make a run at the Super Bowl MVP? Woo-hoo-wee. Kenneth Walker. Man, what a night for that young man. He is a fun back to watch.
Z, he changed his life for the good, right? For the great.
Yeah.
In one game.
Yep.
Already in the Super Bowl, right? That's a great experience. But you're going into the game, and of course there was a couple people, but Z, you were one of them that said you felt like he was going to win the Super Bowl MVP.
I did. I said it. Dante, we have that audio. I emailed it to you. Dante doesn't want me to get my credit.
He never does.
He doesn't want me to get my flowers. All right.
You're inbound guy. You're inbound guy. Remember
it's
that.
not on the rundown, so I didn't think you wanted it.
True. I did not put it on the rundown, but
we can play it later.
But I said multiple times on Friday. Now he was around 8-1. I got him plus 750. All right, so a $20 bet won me $150. But he is, man, the speed on that dude and his ability to bounce runs to the outside. I mean, that's what he wants to do. The defense knows that's what he wants to do. and he still finds a way to get to the edge.
It's the patience. It's setting up the blocks, understanding what you need to do. All right, get the defensive linebackers and the safeties to suck in, get in, and then you're able to bust out. You have that explosiveness to get out when you need to. It's also the run scheme. All right. Clint Kubiak, all right, the Shanahan family right there, they do the outside zone. So if you fit the scheme and you're patient, like someone like Kenneth Walker III, also known as K9 is, you're going to have success. He's low to the ground, low center of gravity, big legs, will break tackles, runs hard. I mean, the vision is there. Everything that you want in a solid running back. All right, not every running back is going to be considered great, but a solid running back in the NFL, that's what Kenneth Walker has. He has the explosiveness. He's going to move the chains for you, and he doesn't get too high, too low on himself. If you think about it, when you're watching him, all right, even after a big-time run, you don't see him getting up excited and telling him to move the chains.
No,
it's like, hey,
never.
on to the next.
Yeah.
On to the next. That's a mature running back.
That's a great point. I didn't even actually realize that when I'm watching it, but you're 1,000% correct. There's no reaction because a lot of his runs were stopped or stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, and there was no reaction in frustration. There was no reaction in terms of celebratory reactions. I like that.
Just even kill. You never know when you're going to have that big time run like he had that got called back. You never know when you're going to have a loss of downs. So you just kind of go at it, and by the end of the game, you look up and say, "Damn, I got over 100 yards, maybe a touchdown. I had a great game," and that's exactly what K9 did. Right? He went out there. He had a great game plan. All right, he was in a zone, and now my man's an MVP, so he'll forever have that tag. So no matter what that man does,
I love it.
He'll sign an autograph, and when he says Super Bowl
gosh.
MVP, he gets additional money.
Is that right?
Yes. Anytime he signs MVP, he gets 10 times the money. That's something that DJ Von the Don taught me. So, like, when he's at these autograph signings, my man's going to double his pay.
That is really interesting. The neck on Kenneth Walker. I mean, he's just thick.
Look like me, huh?
He is just thick.
Muscled up, man.
Didn't score a touchdown, but won the MVP. That is pretty cool. 135 yards on the ground, 26 yards in the air. That is a huge day. I told you guys on Friday he was averaging 128 yards from scrimmage in the postseason. Part of the reason I put my chips on that wager. He had 5 runs of 10 yards or more. Man, 5 runs of 10 yards or more, including a 29-yard run, a 30-yard run on the same drive. He had a 20-yard catch on a screen pass. His market value, according to SpotRack.com, and again, it's not gospel.
Yep.
It's a loose sort of guide to what he could be looking at. But according to that website, you're looking at a 4 years, $38 million deal, an average annual value of $9 million. That would rank him right around 11th among other running backs.
Now, I will say this. That price is going to go up because of the Super Bowl MVP, because he is only 25 years old. He'll be 26 next year. He's in his prime. He's already had 2,000-yard years. He doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires this year. I mean, he was kind of like J.K. when it came to the carries. It wasn't until the playoffs that he started to get 19, 20, and then, of course, the Super Bowl, 27 carries.
No Charbonnet.
Yep.
So he became sort of their bell cow, and boy, did he follow through. Holy smokes. I mean, that was awesome, man. It's almost hard to believe because of how often these guys can end up in the end zone. But the first running back to win Super Bowl MVP this century, you have to go back to Terrell Davis. That is hard to believe that, like, even one of these Patriots Super Bowls, someone like, I don't know, LeGarrette Blount, like, didn't get into the end zone 2 or 3 times, or Deion Lewis, or someone like that.
Because this is what happens in the NFL. You get to the biggest stage in everybody's life, and the first thing an offensive coordinator wants to do is throw. He wants to show off his mind. He wants to show off the quarterback, maybe the franchise quarterback, whether he's young or old, instead of just sticking to the game plan. And that's exactly what the Seattle Seahawks did at the beginning. They used Kenneth Walker to get down the field, and then they got cute with Sam Darnold. You look up, and now you have to kick a field goal. Instead of just sticking to the game plan, run that damn ball. Reward your running back that's going crazy on the New England Patriots. But that's my little 2 cents. I think that the OCs that get too cute when they get to the red zone, and it's just like, yo, punch it in. Let the running back get his celebration on and stuff.
Seattle has plenty of cap space to work with in terms of re-signing Kenneth Walker. Per over the cap, the Seahawks rank 6th in effective cap space at over $63 million. Think about this. This is kind of similar to the Denver Broncos, where it's like the Broncos did what they did, 14-3, 1 seed in the AFC, while not like having a ton of cap space as they absorbed the Russell Wilson dead cap hit, part 2 of it. You have a team in Seattle that just won the Super Bowl. They look complete with top 10 money to spend, top 6 money to spend. Man, so
but you got to keep that defense intact.
Sure.
Right? And I don't know. We're not in the Seattle market. I don't know whose contract is up. But if you're the general manager over there, then you're saying, hey, let's try to keep this dominant defense with each other. And then, of course, you try to get someone like Kenneth Walker and a couple of receivers if they're
Witherspoon is due for an extension.
There you go.
Kenneth Walker's up. So those are 2 frontline players that made a huge impact last night. All right. If you're Denver, would you try to get involved with that?
Heck yes. Let's go for it. We need a running back that is consistent. We need another J.K. Dobbins, but a healthier J.K. Dobbins, I'm not even going to say more consistent, but a guy that's durable.
Yep.
Kenneth Walker is that guy for you. I just said it earlier. He's 25 years old. All right, he has had 2,000-yard years. He's a guy that knows how to split time. He's not going to have to demand and command a bunch of carries. So he knows that he's going to have to split time with someone like R.J. Harvey. Let's pay the money. Okay, if you want nice things, you're going to have to spend a little bit more. We have some money if he becomes available, and let's get it going. We all know the recipe to success now. See, we know this. It's the trenches, and now can you have a running back that's good enough to sustain drives for you? Kenneth Walker will do that. Obviously, he's the Super Bowl MVP. If he's available, the Denver Broncos better have their ass first in line to try to get the money to that man so that we can have a running back we can rely on.
All right. Good conversation. You want to react to it? You can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. ESPN released their way too early power rankings for the 26th season. What is their view of the 2026 Denver Broncos? That's next.
Has a troubling trend about the Denver Nuggets been discovered before the All-Star break?
They are not thriving, or in these cases, I guess even surviving, against these really physical basketball teams. And this is how it's going to feel in the NBA playoffs.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text ROAD to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text ROAD to 323232 right now. Text ROAD to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's ROAD to 323232. Text ROAD to 323232 now.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, two-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health.
This February, save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins.
2026 is shaping up to be an amazing year to buy a home in Colorado. If you've been dreaming about getting into your first place, upgrading for more space, or downsizing for a simpler lifestyle, now is a smart time to start planning. And the first step is easy. Get pre-approved. With American Financing, you can get it done in 24 hours or less, so you'll know exactly what you can afford before you start shopping. Rates have been dropping, home prices are steady, and more homes are hitting the market. You could score the right home at the right price and lock in a monthly payment that fits your budget without stretching yourself thin. And unlike renting, every payment you make goes toward your future, not your landlord's. And here's a misconception we'd love to bust. You do not need 20% down. Many buyers purchase with with as little as 3% down. So if homeownership is on your 2026 goals list, let's make it happen. Call American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Women go through many changes in their lives. And we believe each milestone matters. That every new candle represents another step in your story. Our healthcare experts support women at every stage of life. Because each chapter deserves to be celebrated. Women's health. Nurture what's next. Find care near you at mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health. Human kindness lives here.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, Dr. Joseph Ramos is both a doctor and a lawyer, combining legal and medical expertise. He can help. Ramos Law, the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. RamosLaw.com.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss, presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, ESPN released their way too early power rankings. How do they view the 2026 Denver Broncos, which, of course, are still forming? All right, we'll see what it looks like with free agency next month, and then, of course, the draft the month after that. But this should be...
It's coming.
This really should be, and I know we've said this is not a new take, but this should be among the most exciting off seasons around here. You could, if you wanted to say ever, we could talk about why. If you wanted to say a very long time, it makes total sense.
No, I mean, definitely. And you look at the roster, and it's well put together. The foundation's there. You need a couple pieces here and there, but hey, you got the quarterback. We all agree Bo Nix is the franchise quarterback here. You have a receiver that you already have secured in Cortland Sutton. Now we can have conversations about that later. The offensive line is taken care of. They got Luke Wattenberg under contract for a couple more years. Defensive line is pretty much taken care of. So, I mean, life is good if you're Broncos country. Now, of course, you got to go out there and win them damn games. But we're talking about offseason. There's not going to be a lot to have to talk about other than tweaks here or there so that you can get ready for a successful season next year.
All right, we'll tell you where the Broncos came in ESPN's power rankings here in about 12 seconds. But first, calling all wrestling superfans, we have your chance to go to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. It's the Superfan Send-Off presented by 303 Law 4040. Here's what you get. A pair of 2-night tickets to the event, round-trip airfare for 2 from Denver to Vegas, 2 nights hotel stay, and a $500 Visa gift card. For more info and to enter, head to denversports.com/superfan. This package is, as Bret Hart would say, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Best of luck to all of our listeners.
Go, brother.
All right. So ESPN put out their way too early power rankings, Phil. These could change, but the initial look, according to the folks at the 4-letter network, Seattle is number 1. The Patriots are number 2. The Rams are number 3, and they do have the Denver Broncos coming in at number 4. So the 4 teams that played on championship weekend are the 4 teams that lead off the first power rankings of this offseason. And I just don't think it's going to work like this.
In what way? Are you kind of looking at the New England Patriots, or
For
are you
sure.
thinking about like everybody on this list?
Yeah, I just think that we have a tendency, as much as Sean Payton tries to warn us against this, we have a tendency to take a Sharpie and draw a line from one season to the other. And we did it collectively as an NFL community last year with the Eagles. Look how loaded the Eagles are. They just smashed the Chiefs. Man, everyone's coming back. Man, could it be a dynasty? Like, these questions are asked on, like, ESPN's debate shows and FS1 shows like the next day. Potential dynasty? I saw it with same thing with Seahawks. Could this be a dynasty? Things change so much in sports, but they change the most quickly in the National Football League. And it's a part of the reason we love it, because coming into a season, about 25 of 32 teams think they have a shot. And it's not that this hierarchy will not be the case in November. Who falls, who rises, I don't know. But
a lot of it also comes down to, like, who are you paying? Who's coming back? Like, for example, the Seattle Seahawks have a couple big name players that have to get taken care of. If they don't, and they're not with Seattle anymore, well, you're not going to have the same defense or offense that you had this year. It's the same with New England. It's the same with all these teams. On top of you got to stay healthy. Health is the biggest thing in any type of sport, and it's hard to do. So the healthiest team usually ends up winning it all. So if it was up to you, the 4 that we just listed, how would the power ranking go? Just the 4, because I know it's tough.
Just the 4.
Yeah.
I would go Seattle, Rams, Broncos, Patriots.
I like that. Now, you're wrong, but I like that. It would go for me. It would go the Rams, Denver, Seattle, and then, of course, the Patriots are last. I'm not believing in the Patriots after what I saw last night. Their schedule this year, it's just tough. Now, Drake May is a hell of a talent. He's going to be really good for a long time, but they also have a couple pieces that they're going to have to pick up receiver-wise. What are they going to do with Stephon Diggs? Defensively, they're going to have to get better there, a couple spots. So I have them, if we were doing our own power ranking, they're dead last.
So, and you had the Broncos second?
Second. It would be the Rams, Denver, and then it'd be Seattle.
So you have Seattle third?
Yeah, I do have Seattle third.
Really?
Because I don't believe they're going to, even though, right, they have a bunch of money, it comes down to what the players want to do. Once you win that Super Bowl, all right, now it's like, okay, I can go get as much money as possible. That's why I'm thinking of Kenneth Walker, right?
Sure.
It's like, hey, I have the Super Bowl. I'm a Super Bowl MVP. There was a kind of turmoil with them at the beginning of the season, too, that we have to remember when it came to Kenneth Walker. Now, I don't know exactly what was going on, but I think it had to do with some playing time. And so if you're Kenneth Walker, you're like, look, you guys didn't necessarily believe that I could do this.
Right.
Now, I want a lot more money. Do you believe that a running back should get this, amount, whatever the case may be? And if not, I have a Super Bowl. I won the MVP. Now it's all about making as much money as possible for my family, because I've done everything, and I may go somewhere else. And this is where someone like the Denver Broncos may be able to pay a little bit more money and end up with someone like Kenneth Walker.
So, man, it's hard for me to co-sign it.
Why?
That the Denver Broncos belong ahead of the Seattle team that we just watched last night dominate a Super Bowl.
So why wouldn't they be?
They're just not as complete. And I have way, way too many questions about the Denver Broncos on offense.
What are they missing, though?
A running back,
okay,
for sure. A tight end, for sure. A slot receiver, for sure. A higher level number 2 wide receiver, for sure. So, the Broncos over the Seahawks,
because you're thinking of the Seattle Seahawks right now. I'm thinking of it as Seattle may not be able to bring some of these elite defensive players back, because just like I do, once you win that damn Super Bowl, everybody believes they're the reason why. And now everybody wants their part of the pie. And now you're looking at this other guy saying, well, why is he getting more than me when I was out there doing the exact same thing he was doing?
Yeah.
And you start to have that conflict, and now they want to get paid somewhere else.
Well, the Broncos are going to lose some players too.
Who they losing?
John Franklin Myers to start.
Well,
really good football player. Really good football player.
Okay.
And,
Who else?
I'm thinking more like I need to see more from the Broncos offense before I have them slated above the Super Bowl champions that average over 28 points a game this year.
For sure.
And we're third in the NFL in scoring. And then that's not even talk about who they are defensively.
Defense wins championships, baby. Can we all agree now?
Their defense won them a championship. There is no doubt. Hey, defense and a run game. Defense and a run game.
That's
it was on display last night. So, all right. Can the Broncos learn anything from the Super Bowl champion Seahawks? And what do we make of the report from over the weekend involving Sean Payton and Davis Webb? That's next.
Do the Denver Broncos need to take a sledgehammer to one of their position groups on offense?
I'm ready to, other than R.J. Harvey, completely redo, take full demo to the running back room. Save R.J. You got to go get free agent running back, draft a running back, remake that room.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Let's go! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed. Shop now for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
When you've been serving Colorado as long as I have, you see a lot of new law firms come and go. Many of them aren't even from here. They don't know Colorado law the way we do. I'm Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. For 47 years, we've been fighting and winning for Coloradans. This is our home. We care about our community, and we care about the safety of every resident who lives here. So if you've been injured and need real Colorado experience on your side, call the Wilhite Law Firm, 303-GOOD-LAW. The Wilhite Law Firm. Experience you can trust, results you can count on.
Did you know GoodRx can help you save on medication, manage prescriptions, and get trusted health information? If you're one of the millions living with a heart condition, check GoodRx for an easier, more affordable way to manage your health. GoodRx offers common heart medications for under $30. Just search for your prescription, find the best price, then show your pharmacist the GoodRx coupon. And it works whether you have insurance or not. To start saving and better manage your heart health, download the free app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Brandon Stokely here. My guys Trevor and Tate with Embers Golf just returned from the PGA show in Orlando, Florida, and they brought back a truckload of brand new equipment. Check out the new Quantum drivers, the latest tailor-made QI4D lineup, fresh Vokey wedges, and Cobra's newest drivers, and 3D printed irons. How about that? If you want the cutting edge of golf tech, it's all at Embers Golf right now. All the latest and greatest is in store. Come in early before the spring rush. Embers Golf, where passion meets the green.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Leading off with the big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
1 hour in the books. Quicker than a New York minute. Hanging out with you here on the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday. Appreciate you guys rocking with. Phil, that first hour did fly by. And some good conversations, and let's just keep it going, man. When you watch that game last night, or you think about the Seahawks in general,
yeah,
do you think that you can learn something from Seattle in any way, shape, or form?
I'm closing my eyes right now, Z. Just imagine what the Denver Broncos could be like next year, could look like next year if they can get a run game going and continue to secure the trenches. That's what I learned from that game. Watching Seattle, of course, we know that defense was insane, but it started with the defensive linemen, the pass rushers. It started with Seattle being able to have 2 safeties over the top and yet get pressure like they were bringing 5. That's insane to think. It was just like the Philadelphia Eagles last year, right? Just rushing 4, getting to the quarterback, putting pressure on the quarterback, and now the quarterback is making mistakes. But I also know, just like any smart guy out there, that you are not winning in this league without a run game.
Yep.
Z, maybe this is bold. Maybe you agree. Maybe you disagree. But a good run game is better than a great pass game right now. Now, do you agree with that or not? Do you want me to say again? A good run game
Yeah.
is better than a great pass game right now, especially in the playoffs.
Well, look, I think you need both. Obviously, right? I mean, it's one hand washing the other. But yeah, like when the postseason comes around, like, yeah, you'd rather, because a good run game is more predictable than a good pass game. Pass game, like, think about it. You're launching the ball through the air. The run game, you're keeping the ball on the ground. Not to say that bad things don't happen, because they do, but it's just more predictable in a good kind of way. And also, a lot of things have changed about the game of football, but what has not gone out of style is, and it never will go out of style, is playing with physicality.
Yes.
Going downhill, moving other men against their will. That is spiritually breaking.
Controlling the clock is controlling the game.
Yes. And so, like, game control, all of that. So, yeah, obviously you need both. Sam Darnold had a great year. Not a good year, a great year. But without the run game, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No, and that's why I say how I said it is just like, hey, a good run game is better than a great pass game, because you know what you can get with a run game that's consistent. that's moving the chains for you, that's keeping you in front of the chain. So now it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and now a defense has to guess, like, okay, what are they going to do?
Yep.
They have enough firepower that they can just hand the ball off and pick up a first down on 3rd and 2. But also, if you have guys that come into the box, all right, closer to the line of scrimmage, now it opens up the one-on-one opportunities we talk about, the play action. Everything needs to mirror the run game. And if you have a solid run game, you keep a defense honest, usually you're going to win those matchups. Especially in the playoffs when it gets colder or when you have to take control of the game and control the clock. That's exactly what the Seattle Seahawks were able to do in that game. Now, Sam Darnold had a couple of decent passes, but it came down to, hey, at the end of the day, we can just hand the ball off. 3rd and 5, we're going to hand the ball off because we have that much confidence in the offensive line and that running back. And that's so important. That's what I learned. If the Denver Broncos can get a running back like J.K. Dobbins that can stay healthy, they have a chance to win or get to a Super Bowl if they can control the clock. They have the offensive line. You have the quarterback, but you need a running back that is consistent enough to pick up the 3 yards, the 5 yards, that can be explosive like a Kenneth Walker.
Well, in terms of something that I think I learned from the Super Bowl 60, the Seattle Seahawks, and there's quite a bit of layers to this conversation, but one of the things that I think I learned was Seattle. One, you talk about building a juggernaut in silence. We don't hear a lot of noise from the Seahawks. They just keep their head down, and John Schneider, their general manager, you talk about someone just doing a great job consistently and just pick after pick and pushing the right buttons. Like, we've seen that guy build a Super Bowl roster, win a Super Bowl, have the whole thing torn down, move on from a Super Bowl winning coach and the greatest coach in the history of the organization because it was time. And there's a theme to that that I'm going to get to here. Like, to a lot of people, that was an unpopular move, to Seahawks fans who loved Pete Carroll. But the organization said, you want to know what? It's time. And he built a whole nother Super Bowl team, totally separate from that era, with no intersection with any coach or player. And that is just a stable, rock-solid organization. When we talk about these organizations that are just historically, whether dysfunctional or cheap, I'm talking about the Bidwells in Arizona, the Pagulas in Buffalo, Cincinnati, Cleveland. Seattle is closer, like the Broncos are inching closer to like who Seattle is in terms of just the model of consistency and going about their business the right way. And couple things here. They did a few things that were unpopular, whether it's to their fan base or it didn't quite make sense to NFL fans. And here's what I'm thinking of. Like, they had a playoff caliber quarterback in Geno Smith, and they said, this isn't going to be good enough. We're going to move on. Tyler Lockett, fan favorite. It's just over here.
Yeah, he's old.
We're going to move on. More surprising to some Seahawk fans to a greater degree, hey, DK Metcalf, our franchise wide receiver that we hit on, that everyone would agree is a universal number one, like, we're going to move on. And we don't care. Like, we believe that this is best. And whether it's from moving on from your Super Bowl head coach, saying goodbye to fan favorites, moving on to a receiver who maybe at the time that we all thought was still in his prime, and not just keeping head down, not paying attention to the noise. We are just going to put one foot in front of the other. Yeah. And man, I'm so impressed.
But also with John Schneider, when you look at what you just said, he built 2 Super Bowl teams, different quarterbacks and everything. But one thing that he has always secured was that defensive side of the football. The Legion of Boom was huge. They were scary. See, I'm happy I didn't have to play against those guys. All right, and then this year, the Seattle defense is insane. So to John Schneider, the general manager over there, the recipe for success is have a great defense, have a quarterback that you believe in, and obviously it wasn't Geno Smith, and then have that run game. And it has worked for them when it was with Seattle, and then, of course, this year. So the Denver Broncos have to get on board. They have a defense. Now they got to stay healthy, and they have to continue to add to that, keep a strength of strength. But now it's about those weapons alongside Bo Nix. It's the run game. It's a tight end. It's another receiver. Z, you said a slot receiver, right? Getting and bringing more speed, bringing in more competition so the offense can be as balanced as the defense so that you have a well-rounded team. That's what we need, and that's exactly what the Seattle Seahawks look like, a well-rounded team that there's not a lot of chinks in their armor, and they even have the special teams going well for themselves.
You want to know what else Seattle did this year specifically? Well, I'll even go back to last year. The first year of Mike McDonald's tenure in Seattle was the 2024 season. And he hired a offensive play caller out of University of Washington, Ryan Grubb.
I remember.
And after 1 year, they said, we also know this isn't going to be good enough either. And they fired Ryan Grubb after a single season. And then he went and rejoined Kalen DeBoer at Alabama, who was in his second year. And those two guys had been together, attached at the hip forever. But they acknowledged immediately what wasn't going to work. And you don't want to hire a coach just to fire him 1 year later, right? It's embarrassing. It's a financial loss. But there was an admission there. We know this isn't good enough. And what did they do? They empowered a young 30-something-year-old play caller in Clint Kubiak. And yes, Clint Kubiak had been an offensive coordinator before.
Yep.
Believe it or not, he's 38 years old. And once upon a time, he was the OC back in the
Was it with the Saints?
21 season for Mike Zimmer, when Mike Zimmer was still the coach of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
He was a 1 year offensive coordinator, and then that operation got blown out, and he becomes the Broncos passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach, Clint Kubiak. And I think it takes, I know he had been an OC before, but you empowered him, and he changed your entire offense. And we don't know what Seattle's offense is going to look like without Clint Kubiak moving forward. So just a handful of things that I point to, moving on from a Super Bowl head coach, moving on from a fan favorite, moving on from your number one receiver, moving on from your offensive coordinator after 1 year. They pushed all the right buttons, and you got to take your hat off to John Schneider, who just does his job at a really, really high level.
But now for the Denver Broncos, because this is what it's all about now. All right, as a player, you're watching the Super Bowl, wishing that you can be there. And then all of a sudden the Super Bowl is done. And now it's like everybody has a chance again to get there. So everybody's excited. I know as a player, I'm like, damn, I have a chance to try to get to a Super Bowl now. Now I have to work my ass off so that I'm healthy enough to try to help my team win a Super Bowl, because I want to be up there with the confetti. I want to be up there kissing a trophy. But that's what everybody is thinking, not just the players, but the coaching staff, right, the general manager. They're trying to figure out what they need to do and how close they are to a Super Bowl. And if you are and you feel that you're close, what else can you do to get over the top? You have the quarterback. But now for the Denver Broncos, I think the biggest thing the Denver Broncos need to look at is, can we get a running back that we feel comfortable giving the ball to 15 to 20 times every single game, that can get the 70 yards, 100 yards, that can get to 1,000 yards this year? My bold prediction, Z, if we get a running back in here that can go for 1,000 yards, the Denver Broncos will be in the Super Bowl. Why? Because now you sustain drives. You control the clock. Why? Because now you bring more to that offense. Now you have defenses that have to respect the run game. And now Cortland Sutton, Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, because we got to unlock him. All right, Pat Bryant, they're going to have better opportunities to beat the one-on-one coverages. All right, Bo Nix, it takes pressure off that young man. And now maybe he doesn't run as much as he had to this year. Or maybe it's easier for him to see the schemes, because now you have the defense that has to put an extra guy in the box. So if I'm the Denver Broncos and I'm looking at the Seattle Seahawks, of course defense wins championships in Phil's opinion, but also you got to have that run game that you can rely on and lean on no matter what.
Phil, of course, I co-sign everything that you just said. It's desperately lacking, and they need to address it in a really meaningful way. Sean Payton talked about making it a priority this offseason. It's been 3 offseasons in a row now. Throw your hat. It's a hat trick. 3 in a row of trying to figure out the solve for the lack of run game. And it's the biggest theme, once again, I think, of the offseason. I think it's the biggest theme of the offseason is finding a starting caliber running back. But But let me just address this real quick because I want to move on to the Jeremy Fowler's report over the weekend about Davis Webb and Sean Payton. Someone says, Zach, you got to get this right. Seattle's inching closer to the Broncos as an organization. We are a much more storied franchise than them. Come on now. Hey, no, I appreciate what you're saying. Don't misinterpret me. I would never put Seattle historically on the same level as the Broncos because they're not. Okay, they're not. The Broncos are held in a higher regard historically. Although, them just winning Super Bowl number 2, they're right on your heels in terms of the numbers of Lombardies.
Honestly, they could have won another Super Bowl if they would have just ran the damn ball.
Of course. But I agree with the texter. Yes, they're in a different level historically in terms of their footprint in NFL history. But what I meant by that was the Seahawks had their regardless of who's coaching them, who's playing quarterback, through the years, because of stable ownership, they have never bottomed out in a way that the Broncos did when their ownership went away. And so I mean it in terms of stability and sustainability, not historical footprint. And the Broncos are getting back to the place where they were for almost 40 years. Dude, when I first moved here in 2017, it was statements like, more Super Bowl appearances than losing seasons since Mr. Bowlen bought the team. No back-to-back losing seasons since whatever it was, 1982, I think it was. And then all those sentences went away, and there was no leadership. And now that you have it, and then you're about to have financial flexibility in a way that you haven't in 2 years, you have a chance here to go on a, call it decade run of winning in Denver.
Ownership group, general manager, head coach. We have all three of those things, and we have, which we all believe, is a franchise quarterback. That's where it all starts. Now you got to go out there, you got to stay healthy, and you got to put up the stats. You got to put up the wins, which they come in time. So you're right. Like, this is a historic franchise, the Denver Broncos. But for the Seattle Seahawks, make no mistake about it, they're good as well. And they're very consistent, and they find ways to win. And even if they don't win a Super Bowl, they're close to it. So we're always striving for greatness. And this ownership group, they want to get back to what it used to be here at Broncos country, and that's just pure dominance.
Yep. All right. Shifting gears away from Super Bowl 60 and to a report that was shared on Super Bowl weekend from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. He says, quote, Davis Webb taking over as the Broncos offensive coordinator is significant beyond the title. I've talked to several people in the league who believe that Sean Payton will eventually relinquish play calling to Webb, a fast riser who had multiple head coaching interviews this cycle. Nothing has been decided as far as I understand, and the decision will be up to Payton, who has called plays at a high level for decades. But it wouldn't be shocking, if this happened gradually. End quote. So this is another report from a significant name and a reliable name talking about Sean Payton potentially handing over the play calling to Davis Webb. Now, he said nothing's been decided as far as he knows right now, definitively. The decision will be up to Payton. Wouldn't be shocking if this happened gradually. Okay, so there's a couple layers here. Do you believe that, quote, nothing has been decided?
I do not. I believe that the reason why Davis Webb decided to sign here as an offensive coordinator is there were talks, whether it's with Greg Kanner, George Payton, and Sean Payton together, that some way, shape, or form, Davis Webb was going to be calling the plays. Now, I don't know what that looks like. Is it all the plays? Is it first and second down? Is it goal line? Like, we talk about it, Z, and we're going to talk about it again. But I think there's a baby plan, at least, in play for Davis Webb, and Davis Webb at least knows what he's going to be doing at the beginning of this year, and he can maybe earn more reps or more freedom to call more plays if he's doing well.
Yeah, and that's the gradual part. You know, he says it wouldn't be shocking if this happened gradually, end quote. That's from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. How gradual could the transition be? You know, that's does it start off as I am going to give you little tasks?
Yeah.
You know, little big task, though, whether it's organizing the sequence in practice to start. Maybe it's something like that.
But he was already the pass game coordinator,
right?
So he was already coming up with some of the pass plays. Now, of course, Sean has to sign off on that. So he's been creative with the pass plays, and he'll go to Sean and say, hey, do you like these plays? And then you go from there. So I would hope if it's gradually, it's something more than just like, hey, you're going to be doing the game, like baby game planning.
Well, I was going to say like maybe that's how it starts of like that's task 1. Task 2 is single-handedly leading our offense in practice when we go live.
Yeah.
Maybe task number 3 is you're going to call every game of the preseason. Maybe task number 4 is, and again, I'm just spitballing because he's saying, don't be shocked if this happens gradually. Maybe it's, hey, in the second half of a 2-score game, I'm handing over play calling to you. You know, like I'm just trying to envision what this could look like. But it does when he says it wouldn't be shocking if this happened gradually. I think it lends itself at least out of the gate to more of a hybrid sort of partnership or cooperation that I have been thinking this whole time.
But wouldn't that affect the flow of the offense when you have a guy like Sean who's stuck in his ways and like the players are going to know his offense, and then all of a sudden you have Davis Webb, this rising star that may have a couple things up his sleeve that he wants to change,
right?
But it's something that you can't just do on a fly. Usually it takes months. That's why you go through a camp. You go through this offense for months to kind of gel together, and then you go out there and you're ready to play. But if you're going to be running Sean Payton's offense at the beginning, and then you switch up, and Davis Webb says, "Hey, look, we're gonna take a different approach.
Right?
We're gonna go more under center."
Dude,
well,
see,
it's like, well, then what the heck?
Yeah. So this is speaking to like a much larger conversation than this one, which is already pretty freaking large. If Davis Webb ends up calling plays, is he simply calling Sean Payton's offense, or does his own ideas that everyone is fawning over, and this guy is just brilliant and he gets it and he's tying old school football with analytics in a way that is just so impressive? And because, you know, if he sees things the way that Bo does, it is fair to speculate that Davis Webb doesn't like the million personnel groupings, right? If he sees it similarly to Bo, I mean, how many times have we seen this boil over on a game there where he's like, hurry the F up, or like, dude, come on with the personnel groupings. Like, and by the way, and we talked about this last week, the notion that Sean's personnel groupings are no longer a strength and they are a tell, and it hurt the Broncos in the AFC Championship game against Vrabel and that Patriot defense. Does Davis Webb just see it differently than Sean? I don't know.
And so the only thing I can think of is Sean saying before the season even starts, right? Like they would probably get together now. All right, the season starts now. Super Bowl is over. Everybody's in the facility here soon, if not today, next week. And you start to game plan. What do you want the philosophy to look like? What do you want this team to look like? Are we going to be run heavy? Are we going to be pass heavy? Well, the Denver Broncos, that is, have been very pass heavy. So maybe it's like, hey, Sean's going to focus on just the run game. And you have Davis Webb that's going to focus on the pass game because he's a pass game coordinator and coming up with the plays that he likes as a pass game coordinator, and then they're going to mix it together to kind of mirror each other. That's the thing I can see if you're going to gradually do this and everybody has a role. If not, then you need to let Davis Webb just call the damn plays, and Sean needs to be that CEO. Will it happen? I don't know. It's hard for people to let things go. It's hard to sit here and say a young offensive coordinator and say, go ahead and do it, and I'm going to sit back and hold my tongue. It's hard to do that. But it may be what's best for this team moving forward so that players can get in a rhythm or get into a certain scheme, a certain system, and say, this is what we're going to do all year. This is what we've been practicing, and you go from there.
Well, with this conversation, here's what I hope does not happen.
Uh-oh.
You know, there is a certain percentage of people who agree to jump out of a plane, but then when they actually get up there, they realize it's not for them, and they never jump out. Seriously. There's a certain percentage of people who sign up and go through it, the practices or whatever, then it's time to actually jump out of the plane. My hands are getting sweaty just thinking about jumping out of a plane.
Yeah, that's not a good look, man.
And you get up there, and then you realize, oh, this is actually what it feels like. This is what it looks like. Man, I don't think I actually want to do this. What I hope doesn't happen is Sean Payton agrees to jump out of the plane, but then when it's actually try to jump out, like, I don't know if I'm actually going to do this. It's easy to say, I will be flexible and give you some play calling duties. To what degree, I don't know, right? And none of us do right now. We're speculating. It's easier to say that when you're trying to retain a top candidate, and you really do respect him. He's your guy. You identified him. You hired him. You're the one that make him do a U-turn, get him back in the facility. We should have never let him left. You think very highly of him. You think that you're ready to hand over play calling, and then when you actually get into the sequence and you're a observer of your former offense, it's like, you want to know what? I'm looking at things extremely critically. I'm uncomfortable. I'm considering taking it back. We're struggling. Hey, we just lost back-to-back games. Offense didn't play great. Is it still Davis Webb's show? It's like those conversations and actually jumping out of that plane is it could be a different deal.
See, and this is why, just like in any relationship, communication is key. Being on the same page. Letting each other know like what you're okay with, what you're not. For Sean, it's like if you're going to give it up and let someone like Davis Webb call the plays, then let him go through those growing pains because it's going to happen. But if you're not ready to, don't lie to this man. To tell him what he's going to do, tell him what you're going to do, and you move on from there. But you guys have to be on the same page because as we all got to witness yesterday with the Super Bowl, if you get out coach, you're not winning a damn Super Bowl. You're not winning playoff games. You have to be on the same page, not just as players and teammates, but the coaching staff all have to be on the same page together to get to that ultimate goal, which is winning that damn thing.
All right, if you want to react to any of these conversations, you can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. What did we make of the halftime show? And did you have a favorite commercial? We'll go around the group next.
Does Sean Payton still have a major blind spot in his offense?
Why the hell? And I'm so confused about this, and this is now a third straight year that Sean Payton, for 3 straight years, has failed to incorporate Marvin Mims in a more meaningful way on a Sunday-by-Sunday basis.
He won't obey his eyes.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hello, Colorado. This is David Szymanski with U.S. Mortgages, the home of Yes, You're Approved. Have you wanted to purchase a home or refinance one and been told no due to high debt ratios, low credit scores, employment length, or any other options that most banks deny? Well, we've expanded our guidelines to allow no W-2s or tax return options. If you're finding it hard going a traditional route, you might just need an out-of-the-box lender. We can approve with bank statements only, asset depletion, DSCR, DTIs over 50%, and less than perfect credit is okay. Don't let fear or someone else's no stop you from saving money on a home you own or buying one. At U.S. Mortgages, we say yes. No upfront fees and no risk, and our number says it all. 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. Equal housing lender. License 392126.
If you're considering sedation dentistry and want to learn more about it, Clarkson Dental can help. When it comes to your health, you want to make sure you know all the details. The highly trained professionals at Clarkson Dental have your answers. Learn more at coloradosedation.com.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, advancedhair.com.
Hey, Mom. It's me. Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Hellsberg. Just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something with up to 40% off gifts at Helzberg. Shop in store or at helzberg.com.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Hoops in Hamilton on the DU campus is intense this season.
And the Denver Pioneers have scored more points than any game in program history.
The threes are flying and the atmosphere is electric. Join us to create a home court advantage as conference play heats up.
Goes down low, feeds Wysocki, up with a two-handed dunk.
Group discounts and one-of-a-kind experiences await. Denver basketball. Get your tickets today at DenverPioneers.com.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, two-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer.
This February, save 25% off all primetime functional trainers, home gyms, and racks. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose from the safety and comfort of your own home. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins.
Hey guys, Cecil Lammy here. You probably noticed your heat kicking on way more than it should. I get it. It's frustrating. I live in Roxborough. That wind blows all the time. But the real culprit might surprise you. When the insulation in your window fails, all that warm air you're paying for slips right out and the cold sneaks right in. That's why you need my friends, WindowNation.com. It's WindowNation.com. They got their buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale happening now. Also ask them how you could snag a pair of Icon Pass 2-day sessions. Stop letting your windows drain your comfort and your wallet. Schedule your quote today at WindowNation.com.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door, literally, to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts in person.
Hi, welcome in.
They're powered by smart tech and ready to do your taxes for you. Get real-time updates while you go about your day. Confident your taxes are done right. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. TurboTax stores opening soon. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Denver.
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on The Drive.
All right, let's come off the top rope with it. All righty. Mr. Phillip Lindsay.
Yes, sir.
We've talked an hour and a half on this show. We didn't get to the halftime show. What did you think of Mr. Bad Bunny?
Mr. Bad Bunny, you know what? It was pleasing just to watch the entertaining, right? It was moving around. There was a bunch of dancing going on. Like, that's what I'm used to. I'm used to just, hey, man, going at it. The beats were good. The only thing I have was I couldn't understand them.
Right.
That's the only thing. Other than that, I mean, hey, it was just like any other halftime show. Now, I will say this. Snoop Dogg, Eminem, like, that was the best one. That was the best one yet.
That was a good one.
Bad Bunny, it wasn't a bad show. and it was versatile, and a bunch of stuff going on, and there's that.
Yeah.
What about you, man?
It wasn't for me, but neither was The Weeknd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
you're right about that.
the performer of The Weeknd, not The Weeknd itself.
Yeah, you like The Weeknd.
I love The Weeknd, but not a huge fan of The Weeknd. but
let me make that make sense.
No, it just wasn't for me. But it wasn't intended to be. The NFL is trying to make their game a global game.
Yeah.
All right, and they achieved it. I'd be willing to bet when the numbers come out, it's going to be the most watched halftime of all time. All right, and so for that perspective, from a business perspective, I suppose that the NFL is going to get what they wanted. But also, in terms of the larger conversation, about Bad Bunny that was just like kind of running rampant, like not every opinion has to be screamed and be a huge deal.
Yeah.
So like you asked me my opinion about the halftime show. Well, it wasn't for me. But it doesn't mean because that's my opinion, I need to scream it and tweet it and post it and make it like the most important thing ever. It's just not every opinion has to be a rage opinion.
You just say your part and you move on. It is what it is. What do you always say? I'm never going to tell a fan how to fan. It's something like this, right? Like everybody has an opinion on it. You say your little part, you move on, and let's go to the next thing. It doesn't have to be all that serious. It's music we're talking about, too. This is a performance where it's just about music, man. Getting up there, dancing a little bit, shake what you got there, shake your money maker, and then you move on.
Yeah. Dante, did you like the halftime?
Yeah, I thought it was good vibes. I'm with Phil. I didn't really understand what was going on. But in general, the halftime show is not really for me. That's usually when I get up, try to get my food, do all that stuff. But you guys missed on the biggest thing. How about Jessica Alba? My, oh, my.
Still got it. Hey, how come we don't see her anymore? Does she like, it's like purposefully doesn't do films or anything? Like, she kind of like faded. She kind of faded away, but it seems like that would be a choice for her. I feel like she would still be in very high demand. She looks like she would be. Yeah, we don't see Jessica Alba anymore. I don't know.
Just fade away.
Drew, did you like it?
I did. I really enjoyed it. I kind of went in thinking I was going to enjoy it, and I really liked it. I thought it was fun. Lady Gaga was a nice little addition to the thing. The set itself was awesome. The way it moved around, it was really cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and you want to know what? You said something that I just find interesting. I think if you went into it like you weren't going to like it, guess what? You probably didn't like it. And if you went into it saying, I think I'm going to like this, I'm going to go in with the, you probably liked it. Again, it wasn't for me. I couldn't, understand them, obviously. But at the same time, a lot of other people did, I guess, around the world. So, you know what? It is what it is. I would tell you about 3 out of every 4 halftime shows, I'm like,
No, for sure.
It wasn't really for me.
Yeah, I mean, and what I think, like, I learned a couple years ago is, like, the performers and everybody that's doing it, they have to pay for all that. The NFL's not paying for it.
Right.
So that's insane to think that you're putting on this show for free, pretty much, because the NFL hoping that you're going to get things back in return later on.
Yep. All right, next in the 3 count.
1, 2.
What did you guys think of the commercials? This is a talking point every Monday after the Super Bowl. Did any commercial, I'll say this, and maybe it's me getting old. In general, I get more unimpressed with the commercials at the Super Bowl. What did you think, Phil?
See, I'm looking for funny commercials. That's all I care about is funny commercials, things that are going to stand out. And I didn't get that. I didn't get that feeling this year of this, like, one that was just laughable, that you could just talk about with your friends, with your wife. So, yeah, it was just average, man. It was an average commercial thing going on for the Super Bowl, man.
I thought the Duncan one was pretty good.
Yeah.
When they bring in Tom Brady at the end, I mean, I thought that was funny. You know what one I thought was good is for years, and if you're a little bit older, you'll remember this. For years, the polar bear being associated with Coca-Cola.
Yes.
You guys remember that?
I remember.
Like, I had a folder in school that it was like the big polar bear, like, drinking Coca-Cola. And they stopped using that polar bear for whatever reason. And I don't know if the trademark expired or whatever, but they did the polar bear doing the taste test. And the polar bear picks Pepsi instead of Coke. And then he can't stop thinking about Pepsi, but it's like kind of like cheating on Coke. And then he runs into another polar bear, and they're at a concert, and the male polar bear had his arms around the female polar bear, and they went up and showed him on the Jumbotron like what happened at that concert this past year, because they're like cheating on Coke. And it was smart humor. It was like clever humor, which is more my style anyway. And so I thought that one stuck out.
So there's a war between Coca-Cola now and Pepsi.
Yeah. Well, there always has been.
No, for
it's
sure, but now it's like coming back.
Yeah.
You know, so it's fun.
Yeah, they took a shot. They used a pop culture reference that was massive from this past year. What was the concert? What was it? Oasis?
It was Coldplay.
Coldplay, that's what it was. And they used that topical pop culture thing, mixed it in with a cheating theme of the polar bear cheating on Coke. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Anything from behind the glass stick out to you guys?
The only one for me was the Dunkin' Donuts one. I thought that one was really funny. I enjoyed that. I'll be honest, I didn't see any of the second half commercials because I'd flipped the game off to watch the Olympics. So
You turned the Super Bowl off.
I did. I was so bored. That game was
oh my
awful.
God, that is the most Drew
brand,
Stevak
I know,
thing.
I know.
I mean, seriously.
Where's my belt out?
Seriously.
Where's it at?
That game
Dante,
was awful.
can you what?
Come on, Drew.
I can only do so much.
Any commercial stick out for you, DG?
I didn't really get to watch a lot of them. I was at a party. It wasn't like crazy, but it was like 20 people, and it wasn't exactly like the best viewing experience for commercials or like hearing Chris Collinsworth or the announcers throughout the game.
You know what? I missed a bunch too. We had like a little cadence where when they went to commercial, I get up and I go stand like in the kitchen, and me and my son just throw the football, back and forth. And so, but look, it is what it is. I don't know. That's just kind of the state of the Super Bowl commercials. It's not what it once was. I think I know that for sure. All right, finally in the 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
All right, Lindsey Vonn goes down in a scary skiing crash in her first Olympic run and was airlifted out. We know she tore that ACL just a few weeks ago, and still decided to participate. Yeah. And then to see her crash like that, it was deflating.
It's scary, and anytime that you're dealing with an injury anyway that everybody's aware of, it's kind of like, for me, I'm always closing my eyes, like, because it's bound to happen. Something that's bound to happen. Lindsey Vonn ends up getting hurt. To me, I don't know why you go out there and do that to yourself. I know that you're a competitor, but you're not at full go. You know you're not healthy enough, and then in the back of your head, you're always thinking about that one move that goes wrong for you, and that's exactly what ends up happening. And now you're getting airlifted, and you're everybody's scared. Like, is it worse than just the knee now? Are you fighting for your life kind of thing?
Well, luckily that's not the case.
No, for sure.
But news is just coming out right now, like literally right now, that Lindsey Vonn has multiple complicated fractures in her tibia, and it will require multiple surgeries.
Yeah.
So, man, that is that had potential to be the biggest story in the Olympics if she was able to, perform at a high level, medal, but it wasn't meant to be. And man, the follow-up, the surgery, the rehab that no one's going to watch, right? Everyone watched you fall.
Oh, for sure.
But now the journey just to get healthy and back as a healthy human being in your 40s is going to be a really tall task. Okay, NBA All-Star Weekend will include a Denver sports twist we haven't seen in over 20 years. That's next.
The champ! Are you ready?
Do you consider yourself a super fan? Well, now's your chance to prove it. It's Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan Super Fan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040, sending you to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. A pair of 2-night event tickets, airfare, and hotel all included, plus a $500 Visa card. So get in the ring and enter now at DenverSports.com/superfan. That's DenverSports.com/superfan.
Are you worrying about those upcoming credit card bills after the holidays? If you're a homeowner, there's no better time than now to call American Financing and wipe out that debt, eliminate the stress, and set yourself up for a strong 2026. The Fed dropped rates for the 4th time in December. American Financing can help you access that equity in your home at an interest rate in the low 5s. You heard that right, in the low 5s. That is a much lower rate than the average 20% or more credit card rate. American Financing is saving their customers an average of $800 a month. That's like a $10,000 raise to start the new year. There are no upfront fees and no obligation to see how much you can save. And they are closing some in as fast as 10 days and even delaying 2 mortgage payments. American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans. Call them today at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. APR for rates in the 5 start at 6.196% for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
Hi, Dan Cicchini with Dunright. Great pricing options and bank financing? You bet. Kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Done right since 1985. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Dunright. Visit drhi.com. Thanks.
Brandon Stokely here for Colorado's hometown HVAC team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Is your heating system struggling to perform and need to be traded? It has never been easier to get a quote for a new heating system. Rocks Heating and Air offers a free online heating and cooling quoting system so that you can quickly and accurately get pricing on a new system. Only at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hey guys, your boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if you can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house all cash and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Want to partake in our contest? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com. Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer, exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney, Tuesday afternoons on The Drive, and Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, all season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, stepping away from the Super Bowl and the Denver Broncos.
Stepping away from play calling duties, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I said going into the last break, Phil, the NBA All-Star Weekend will include a Denver sports twist we haven't seen in over
20 years. We found out over the weekend, man, and I was hoping this was going to be the case because it deserves to be. But Jamal Murray competing in the NBA three-point contest in All-Star Weekend, a Nugget in that contest for the first time since Vashawn Leonard back in 2004. It's a long time ago to have go that stretch without Nuggets representation in the three-point contest.
Yeah, so now Nuggets Nation, like, we can sit there, we can watch the TV and enjoy Jamal Murray, who it's like a breath of fresh air to see him in there. Like, he's been doing a great job, being rewarded, being in an all-star game, and now a three-point contest. Will he win it? I don't know. I mean, there's some really good players, and he's competing against. But just for him to be there, and he's going to go hard. He's going to try to win it. So it's going to be fun to watch.
No doubt about it, man. I am now. It gives me something to look forward to on All-Star Weekend.
Now you're going to bet on my man.
Of course I will.
All right.
Of course I will. And I already told you I'm going to bet him to win All-Star Game MVP.
You did.
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Why though?
Because Jamal Murray had said in the past, if he was ever in the All-Star Game, that he would play hard. And that he doesn't like how people don't play hard in the All-Star Game. And if you have someone of his talent and the year that he's having and where his confidence currently is, I mean, the guy is shooting 43% from behind the arc. I mean, that's a career high, second highest percentage of anyone in this contest. But to the All-Star Game, like, he was asked about it. Like, hey, you said a few years ago you would play hard. Is that still the case? And he was like, absolutely. If I'm going out in the court, I'm going to play hard. And if you play hard in that game, you're going to stick out. And if you make a bunch of shots and you're playing hard, you have a shot to, score, 28 points and be the All-Star Game MVP. So I'm just saying in advance that I will be betting that for sure.
Well, hopefully he sets the tone. And there's a couple other players in the league that are like, you know what? Let's go hard. Let's play hard like back in the day. Let's have that one-on-one battle. And don't make it like the NFL Pro Bowl stuff where you're just out there. Like, be competitive. Like, that's what I want to see moving forward. Just being competitive and rewarding yourself for all the hard work you did to get to that moment.
No doubt. The three-point contest is loaded with household names to NBA fans. It is Devin Booker, who is honestly having a terrible year from three. Terrible. But he is in the three-point contest and has won it before. Dame Lillard is in the contest, despite his status playing basketball this year. Tyrese Maxey, a shooting star out of Philly, is in the three-point contest. Con Knuppel, the first-round pick out of Duke that plays for Charlotte, I couldn't be more of a fan. That dude has a ratchet on him. Donovan Mitchell, Norm Powell, and Bobby Portis Jr. all shooting in the three-point contest. So it should be awesome, actually. Infinitely better than the current state of the dunk contest.
Come on.
Huge game tonight. Well, I said huge game. I'm fascinated by the game tonight. Cleveland Cavs, all right, coming into Denver, all right, post James Harden trade. Harden's played one game for Cleveland. He did so over the weekend, scored 23 points, dished out 8 assists. So seeing him in Denver in a Cavs uniform is going to be different. But this is a good team. This is a good team that has been disappointing comparatively to who they were last year. But they're playing good. They're playing better, I should say. They have won 3 games in a row. They have won, it is, I think, 6-1 in their last 7.
Yeah.
I think it's actually 8-1, I think, in their last 9. So playing much better after a really disappointing start.
Yeah, I mean, with the Cavaliers, they can get hot from the three-point line. So that's one thing that the Nuggets are going to have to watch out for. Of course, Harden as well. Don't let that man get going. That man, he decides he wants to go to every single team in the NBA. It's crazy how that thought process with him is. It's
anything for his next contract.
Man,
doesn't matter. He is a basketball mercenary. That's who he is.
At some point, you have all the money in the world, or you have all the attention. Don't you want to win? Don't you want to be a champion? Like, doesn't that matter at some point? It's crazy with James Harden. I mean, he's a me guy. That's obvious. He's a me guy. But, hey, tonight, let's see what happens. Can the Nuggets do it again? We were able to beat up on Chicago and pull away in the fourth quarter. So, I'm interested in it, too. What does it look like with James Harden?
The game over the weekend, 136-120. On paper, it says a 16-point win, but there were parts of that game that were like, oh, my gosh, like, are they going to lose to the Bulls, who just made a bunch of trades and, like, have guys, like, who don't even know each other's name? Luckily, that didn't happen. Welcome back, Cam Johnson. Welcome back, Cam Johnson.
Your king. How's it feel?
My king.
How does it feel?
You know who my king is. You know who my king is.
Well, I thought I did.
No, it was good to see him back, though.
Yeah.
He was down for a while, man. And I thought he played pretty well, honestly. Shot it well. Not anything crazy to write home about, but it was just good to see him back out there playing 27 minutes, going for, 16?
14.
14 on 6 of 9 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. Pretty good start.
Very efficient. I mean, especially having all that time off, coming back, and then having a game like that, 14 points. Like, you love to see that. Now you got to stay healthy. Hopefully we can start getting some of our guys back. When we do we have enough runway to actually build that chemistry so we have a great opportunity to win the championship this year? That's all I care about. And I have to say this. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a bad boy, man.
Oh, my goodness.
And I hope that he wins Sixth Man of the Year, right? I hope that he gets that opportunity. And just that addition right there. You hit on Tim Hardaway Jr. You were hot on him right when he got here.
Yep.
But he's fun to watch. He's very aggressive, and he's just a team player. So hopefully that can resonate for him to win that Sixth Man of the Year award when that comes around. Hopefully he's up for it.
Yeah, he should be. There's no reason why he shouldn't be in those conversations. He has been great. And I remember saying before he ever, and I know you just alluded to it, but before he ever played a preseason game, it was some version of, I don't think this town understands how much they're about to fall in love with Tim Hardaway Jr. And the guy's on a vet minimum contract. He's on a 1 year. He's making himself money. And other vet minimum guys should look at Tim Hardaway or look at Bruce Brown, what he did in the 23 season. Like, if you are looking for a home and you can shoot it, Denver should be your destination. Come here for a year and go get yourself paid. But yeah, he has been. He had a little dip there for a couple of weeks where he wasn't shooting it well. That's going to happen. He is out of that little rut there. And and you want to know who else deserves a lot of credit here is someone who is trying to prove that he's a viable every night NBA player is Julian Strawther. He has played much better. I mean, he wasn't playing at all previously, but he has put together like a 2-3 week period that honestly has been really impressive, and he deserves a lot of credit there.
And you know what, Z? We may need him in the playoffs. We don't know how this team is going to look if they can stay healthy. Julian Strawther may end up being a big part of this if he has to, so he needs to get going now. He is now. He's starting to build that confidence. It's good to see a young player like that. And if we all remember, he came up big for us in a playoff game last year.
He did.
So, like,
good
it's
memory.
in him. It's in him. He just has to be consistent. And how do you do that? You got to be on that court, and he's getting the opportunities now because of these injuries.
Yeah, he had 15 points in Game 6 of the semis against Oklahoma City. He's a big part of that win and forcing a Game 7. Okay, shifting gears here. It was one thing to compare Bo Nix to Drew Brees coming out of the draft. Is that still fair after 2 seasons? Someone thinks so. We'll tell you who said what next.
Has a troubling trend about the Denver Nuggets been discovered before the All-Star break?
They are not thriving, or in these cases, I guess even surviving, against these really physical basketball teams. And this is how it's going to feel in the NBA playoffs.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text ROAD to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text ROAD to 323232 right now. Text ROAD to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's ROAD to 323232. Text ROAD to 323232 now.
Is your money doing everything it can for you? Like automatically pushing more of your money to savings every day?
I don't think so.
Then switch to Huntington Bank and let's get more from money. Huntington Bank, welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Stoke here for my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auction for over 40 years, and they got one of my favorite auctions that's open for bidding right now that's ending on February 11th at 9 o'clock. Over 290 items in this, a government fleet vehicle and equipment auction. Always one of my favorites. It's got SUVs, sedans, pickup, utility trucks, dump trucks, police vehicles, trailers, various municipality equipment, and so much more. Open for bidding right now. Go see it all. Get yourself a great deal at rollerauction.com.
Women go through many changes in their lives. And we believe each milestone matters. That every new candle represents another step in your story. Our healthcare experts support women at every stage of life. Because each chapter deserves to be celebrated. Women's health. Nurture what's next. Find care near you at mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health. Human kindness lives here.
Free barbecue. Yep. Absolutely free barbecue. Hey, everybody, Dan Jacobs, the barbecue lawyer at 303 Law 4040. It's 2026, and we are taking our free meal program to the next level, and I want you to help spread the word with me if you can. I got a brand new smoker, and this thing's a beast. It's over 6 feet tall, so we can cook that 1,000 pounds of free barbecue each and every month. Here's what you do. It's Eastern Hills Community Church, 4 to 6 p.m. every first and third Thursday. I'm smoking up delicious pulled pork or my addictive copycat Chipotle recipe, and we're serving it up for free. You just get in line, you pop the trunk, we put free groceries in your trunk, and then we ask you how many meals you need for the night. It's that simple, no questions asked. It's at Smoky Hill and Arapahoe Road every first and third Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. Help us spread the word, and if you have any questions, you can always call me. The barbecue lawyer's number is 303 Law 4040.
One iced coffee?
$1, please.
For real? No way. One iced coffee?
$1, please.
For real? No way. What a deal.
Your new morning groove. Iced coffee from McDonald's, any size for just $1 until 11 a.m. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
IRS notices piling up already this year? Now's the best time to take control before penalties snowball. Advanced Tax Solutions has helped thousands resolve IRS problems fast. Get ahead of an IRS problem by talking to the team I trust at Advanced Tax Solutions now.
Shop the President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last. Get 60 months no interest financing. FurnitureRow.com.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan presents The Drive with Zach.
To a handful of people, and the Denver Broncos were a popular point of conversation because of what happened with Bo, how the AFC Championship went down, and one of the people that Mace talked to, along with Mike Kliss of 9 News, was Super Bowl champion Kurt Warner. All right, and this is what some of the conversation sounded like when Warner was talking about Bo Nix.
I think he's done some incredible things. He's an unbelievable playmaker. I think he's got all the ability to be a really, really special player in the game. The one thing that I want to see him continue to work on is just a little more poise and calm in the pocket. Yeah. I talked to him earlier in the year, and he loves to be on the move. He loves his feet moving, which I understand that because he's a great thrower on the run. But sometimes there's some opportunities out there if he just settles in a little bit more. But that'll come. I mean, to have his team as the #1 seed in his second year, to continue to make strides, all the comeback wins. I mean, I just very impressed with how he's carried himself.
Very impressed with how he's carried himself. But the one piece about, and we've talked about this ourselves, the one piece about, hey, Bo loves throwing on the run.
Happy feet.
And Davis Webb told a broadcast crew during the year, I forget who it was, that Bo Nix is the best quarterback throwing the ball on the run in the entire NFL.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about
you gotta
that.
hype your quarterback up. I understand what Davis Webb is doing. He's trying to be an offensive coordinator.
Sure.
It worked.
Hype him up. And Bo is just more comfortable getting out in space, throwing on the run. But like Kurt Warner said, almost like time and place, as the growth curve continues, I would think there would need to be at a certain point, and I don't know if that's this coming year, I don't know if it's in year 5, more within the pocket quarterback play will probably be required.
Well, as the game slows down for Bo, as he starts to see the coverages and it says, okay, I've seen this multiple times. I know what's coming my way. I know where I need to go with the ball. I understand that there's a blitz coming right here, so I'm going to hit my hot route right away. When the game starts to truly slow down for Bo, that's where you're going to see him stay in the pocket. The time, the rhythm, the processing that Sean always talks about will be there, and the bigger plays will happen for him, because sometimes it's about being patient, letting a play develop, trusting your offensive line, stepping in, climbing that pocket, and then hitting the middle of the field. But at times for Bo, it's your process speeds up when you have people on your tail, when you're starting to feel that pressure, and you're athletic enough to utilize those legs that we talk about. Why not run to sustain the drives to pick up the first down? So I think over time the game will slow down, and Bo Nix will start to understand what Sean wants done more. Whether if Sean continues to be the offensive coordinator, you start to understand, okay, this is what Sean wants. These are going to be the plays, and I know what I need to do, and then you go from there.
So we'll see. We'll see how this evolves, right?
Yeah.
And it will be an evolution, right? Who a quarterback is in his first 2 years, that's not who he is in year 6 and year 7. But also, and I was listening to a conversation this morning about it too, is that with the ankle injuries and the fact that they've stacked up and there's now 3 of them, okay, and you just lost out on a trip to the Super Bowl, because we agree if Bo Nix plays in the AFC Championship game, it's Broncos in Seattle yesterday. You do wonder how much, or I wonder anyway, how much that I'm someone who wanted to see more of Bo on the run.
Me too.
And I just think that these are going to be relevant conversations moving forward of just how active you want him out there running around.
But there's a time and place for everything. I always tell the story with my guy, Lamar Jackson. My guy Lamar Jackson, and how everybody said they want to see him pass the ball and sit in the pocket, and he stopped running. And it took his mom to say, dude, do what got you there. God has given you this gift to run. It's going to help you set up. You're still young. Utilize your legs. And for Bo Nix, don't listen to us and stop using your legs, but be smart with it. If it's there, run. If it's not, set your feet, climb the pocket, make those throws. And over time, you'll be a smarter, passer of the ball, right? As a quarterback, you'll develop that skill, and you move on from there.
The Drew Brees comparison.
Yeah.
A lot of that before the draft or even after the draft of the qualities that Sean saw. And it's sort of low-hanging fruit there because he coached Drew forever, and this is his next hand-picked quarterback. I get it at the time. Does it make sense now? This was Andrew Mason talking with Chris Sims, who we played some of his audio last week. What did he say last week? He was
he told him to run the ball.
Yes.
Run the damn ball.
Yes, yeah, and kick. No, he said kick the dang field goal. And we have to. Yeah, he said something else. We have to bleep him out. And he's saying take the points. What is Sean Payton doing? He was shocked by the decision. Well, during the course of that same conversation, he was asked about Bo Nix, and this is what he said.
It's Drew Brees-ish. That's really what it is. He's Drew, but maybe even a little bit better arm and maybe a little bit better athlete. And now if they can get some weapons there with him, and I do think, Davis Webb with Sean Payton will be a better formula than what they previously had. I just think now they're going to go to grow the offense and now add some pieces on that offensive side of the ball to where when he throws a 10-yard throw, so he can break a tackle and break it for 40 or 50, right? But no, the sky's the limit. That's why this is a special class, these damn quarterbacks. Damn, they're good. They all are.
Is it still a fair comp to say Bo Nix is Drew Brees, but with a better arm and better athlete?
No. Drew Brees is going into the Hall of Fame. We know that now. Drew Brees put in a lot of work, 20 years of football in the NFL for that man. You got to give Drew Brees his respect. Now, of course, you can say, hey, there's similarities, and as time goes on, can Bo Nix develop into a Drew Brees? Yeah, but I'm not comparing them right now. Bo Nix is in year 2, going into year 3. He has to stay healthy. He has to make the passes. We have to remember at the beginning of this year, Bo's accuracy with the ball was not there. He was overthrowing everything, happy feet and all. Where Drew Brees, as time went on, all right, he understood what Sean wanted done. He sat in the pocket. He could move when he needed to. He was very accurate with the football. So let's not compare Bo Nix to Drew Brees right now, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I can't go there either.
No.
I can't go there. And honestly, going back to our conversation earlier this segment, like Drew Brees, you talking about someone who played from the pocket. I'm still seeing him now with his chin up and looking over the offensive line and just diagnosing the secondary. That's really not, Bo wants to be out in the run. Bo threw on the run more than any quarterback in pro football this year. And also, I would just say, with the, hey, he's Drew Brees-ish, but better arm, better athlete. It's like
maybe a better athlete.
Bo is
very athletic.
Better athlete, better athlete.
Arm?
Okay, I don't know.
To be determined on that one.
Yeah, but we're talking about a 13-time Pro Bowl or a Super Bowl MVP who threw for 5,000 yards like multiple times and is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm not in a rush to say he's Drew Brees, better arm, better athlete. I can't go there. But I think that for tomorrow's show, maybe we go back in NFL history and maybe think of a quarterback or two that after 2 years in the NFL that Bo Nix does remind us of.
I like that.
So we'll put a pin in that and we'll have that conversation tomorrow. Okay. Are the Broncos even closer than we thought? And what were our biggest takeaways from Super Bowl 60? That's next.
Do the Denver Broncos need to take a sledgehammer to one of their position groups on offense?
I'm ready to, other than R.J. Harvey, completely redo, take full demo to the running back room, save R.J. You got to go get free agent running back, draft a running back, remake that room.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And guys, it's a brand new year. And I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now who are thinking about popping that question here soon. And if that's the case, then you know you need a diamond. So let me save you some time and money by telling you something as simple as this. You need to go see my jeweler, Williams Jewelers. So whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a milestone, or hey, finally doing something special for yourself, this is where it all begins. This new year, imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, and the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secret to the business with you, but guys, they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue and in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
Winter is in full swing, and Aleve is here to keep you moving. When the cold weather sets in, everyday aches and pains can linger, but Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you going with long-lasting body pain relief to get you through whatever the season brings. Chilly days or cozy nights, Aleve gives you that long-lasting body pain relief you can count on this winter. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Between groceries, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan, a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up your cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out how much you can save. Call 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
What's up, guys? You need healthy options you'll actually crave? HelloFresh brings the flavor with homemade meals that are wholesome, fresh, and always hit the spot. Turn fresh, balanced ingredients into home-cooked meals that are easy to make and taste great. Keep your health on track with GLP-1 friendly options and high-protein meals packed with over 30 grams of protein. My lady is always telling me how I need more protein in my life. From udon soup to hearty chicken pastas, enjoy mouth-watering dishes that spice up your weeknights. Go to HelloFresh.com to explore plans and menus because nothing hits like home cooking.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Let's talk about your hair. If you're losing it and desire it back, then do what I did and go see Dr. Tanya Pauls at Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can personally attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated Dr. Tanya Pauls, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation today. Call 720-459-HAIR and you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. That's 720-459-HAIR. Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver, and they've changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. Become inspired with the before and afters at advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com.
At Belco Credit Union, we want to make your dream renovation a reality. Maybe that means a modern kitchen upgrade or a luxurious new bathroom. With Belco's Home Equity Choice line, you can get easy access to funds with the freedom and convenience of a home equity line of credit, plus the security and stability of a home equity loan. Plus, Belco is also offering low rates for qualified borrowers. Learn more at belco.org/choiceline. Belco is an equal opportunity housing lender. Belco, banking for everyone.
I am down 60 pounds because of SodaWeightLoss.com. The weight came off a few years ago, and it came off naturally. And I got to tell you, having my own nutritionist, someone who is always available via text, made all the difference. It's real support from a real person. That's what keeps you consistent with SodaWeightLoss.com. Soda is the #1 weight loss company in America for client satisfaction and results. Clients look and feel 10 years younger, just like I do. I move easier. I sleep better. I got my confidence back, baby, and all thanks to SodaWeightLoss.com. And here's the best part. Join now and your partner joins for free. You start together, you support each other, and you both get younger, feeling healthier versions of yourselves. Call them up, 1-866-800-SODA. That's 1-866-800-SODA. Join Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. Go to SodaWeightLoss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com. Soda Weight Loss is, say it with me, it's got to be state-of-the-art.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Step Denver, a nonprofit solution to addiction and homelessness.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider, Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, looking back at Super Bowl 60, are the Broncos closer than we thought? And what were our biggest takeaways from Super Bowl 60? What do you think your top takeaway was last night?
Top takeaway is defense wins championships, baby. When you have a defense that's solidified, that has the pass rushers, that has the cornerback, the safeties, the scheme is right, you have a great chance of winning a damn Super Bowl. The Denver Broncos almost got to a Super Bowl. Why? We weren't sitting here talking about the offense. We were talking about the backbone of the Denver Broncos was that defensive side of the football, that unit. And when you have somebody like the Seattle Seahawks did, their defense, and they were able to get to the quarterback Drake May without blitzing or rushing 5, you're rushing 4, that helps you out tremendously when it comes to the scheme and the backside of it. That you can be more creative with it. You can disguise it just differently when you can get the pass rush from 4 rushes instead of 5. So, Z, defense wins championships, and I'm going to continue to say that. Now, you may not agree.
I don't.
But you should.
Defense just won them a championship.
And it might win them again if they can get this team together again.
Yeah, and that's what the 85 Bears said, and that's what the 2015 Broncos said, and that's what the Legion of Boom said. And
but
that's
it wasn't
what
on the Legion of Boom.
Did they win or lose? Did they win or lose?
Lost. They lost.
Okay.
But it
So I'm
wasn't
just
on-
looking at
it wasn't on the
historically great defense that we hold in the highest regard that rattles off Super Bowls. I'm still waiting for an example. That's why I don't like that phrase, but we agree to disagree on that.
What's your takeaway?
Man, just the construction of that roster. And the little to no fanfare that they did it. Like, this is not, we don't hear about the Seahawks. You talk about, like, real G's move in silence, like operating quietly, head down. Like, they just, dude, they were 60-1 to win the Super Bowl. No one really saw this coming. They didn't. And then to be so dominant. It's like one thing to win a Super Bowl. It's another thing to be dominant. And that defense, to your point, I mean, at every level, those cornerbacks are so good. I could watch the Witherspoon kid, who was the pick from the Broncos in the Russell Wilson trade. They took him 5th overall. He was close to being Super Bowl MVP last night. I mean, that's how good he was defensively. And they blitzed him. Dude, he had not, and this is Mike McDonald here, he had not blitzed the quarterback in the last 4 games. He blitzed 7 times last night, and he had the huge hit on Drake May that led to the pick 6. If his teammate doesn't catch that, that's a forced fumble. He could be in the Von Miller MVP type of conversation. Actually, dude, so I got to tell you this. I haven't mentioned this yet. I made 2 MVP bets. Okay, I bet Kenneth Walker. I said that several times on Friday.
Yeah, that one hit.
And so a $20 bet. I won $150 on a $20 bet. But I made one other MVP bet, and it was defensive end number 58, Derek Hall, who played at Auburn, at 150 to 1. $10 to win $1,500.
So why?
I'm glad you asked.
Why?
I said, who's lining up across Will Campbell?
Ooh.
The 4th overall pick from LSU, who has been getting his bleep pushed in this entire playoffs. I mean, literally, Phil, it looks like he can't play. Now, I don't know, and if you remember the criticism about him, his arms weren't long.
Yeah, they call him dinosaur arms.
Yeah,
like T-Rex arms. I'm like, damn.
And, dude, he has been getting ran through in this postseason. And so I said, okay, who lines up on that side of the ball? And he lines up on both sides of the ball, but more oftentimes than not, he's over the left tackle. And he's a good football player. But at 150 to 1, first series, sack. Second half, second sack. He was close to a forced fumble, and if he got one, and you have 3 sacks and a forced, that's the Von Miller.
No, for sure, you got to be the MVP guy
at 150 to 1. It was close. But
so you're bragging about it, like no matter what, you think you were going to win the MVP, right? You had two tickets out there. Both of them were about to hit.
It was close, man. But 151 would have been legendary. But I think that's my biggest takeaway is like the way that the Seahawks built their team, the way that the Seahawks said, you want to know what? We're going to move on from our Super Bowl winning head coach, who people love. Pete Carroll, I'm sorry, you no longer work here. Tyler Lockett, fan favorite. I'm sorry, you no longer work here. DK Metcalf, half the jerseys in their stadium are DK Metcalf. I'm sorry, you no longer work here. Ryan Grubb, offensive coordinator. They hired him from University of Washington. After 1 year, they said, you want to know what? I know it's just 1 year. It's not going to work out. We know it. There's an old phrase, if you're going to do something eventually, do it immediately.
Just do it now.
They did it, and they empowered a young offensive play caller in Clint Kubiak. And you mix this with just being the stable organization that they are, with drafting well, hitting on rotational late-round draft picks that are rotational pass rushers, like just the way that they went about their business, putting their chips on Sam Darnold in a way that really, like, his own team didn't. They said, we'd rather go young than bring you back. And he goes and wins 14 games again. Only quarterback in NFL history to win back-to-back 14 games with two different teams.
First quarterback in the 2018 class.
Yep.
That's insane. And that's Josh Allen. That's Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson. And yet, Sam Darnold is that man that wins the Super Bowl?
Crazy. And, the Mike McDonald hire was not a sexy hire. That was a hire that was based off substance more than sizzle. Most people a year and a half ago would not identify who Mike McDonald was. But I
will say I was impressed when they played Denver, when it was Bo Nix's rookie year, and how that first game, that defense just looked different. And obviously now the Seattle Seahawks end up winning the Super Bowl. Why? Because of the defense. They have a defensive-minded head coach. It makes the sense. It makes all type of sense.
Yep. And you look at Mike McDonald's defenses, the first time they play a rookie quarterback, the first time they see him, they obliterate them. And what he was doing, dude, like when Mike McDonald was like sending corner blitzes. And, dude, I watched him have two D ends bail into the secondary. The guards have no one to pick up. And now you're making Drake May like read through these layers of coverage.
Yeah. But also there's still pressure on you.
Coming,
so
yes.
Drake's like, oh, damn, where's it coming from? And now you start panicking, and then those where you start to have the sacks.
Yep. And they blitzed like crazy in the first half. They didn't blitz at all in the second half. So I'm just so impressed with them operationally, organizationally. The Allens have been running that organization, and now they're going to sell it, which is crazy because they're talking about the Seahawks going for $7-8 billion.
Whereas if they won the Super Bowl, it would rise on them, right?
I'm sure it doesn't hurt, but like I'm just so impressed, and they rebuilt John Schneider, their George Payton, their general manager, to build a Super Bowl winning team. Should have been two of them, and sever every tie from that era, from Russell Wilson to, and that's the start of all this. We talked about it last week. Talk about unpopular move to a lot of Seahawks fans. I'm sorry, you no longer work here. Franchise, legendary Super Bowl winning quarterback. Yep. The balls that it took to do that, and then you literally create a separate Super Bowl roster that has no connection with Russell Wilson, no connection with Pete Carroll, no connection with the previous, era of Seahawks football. It's a job well done, man.
And you created a separate dominant defense on top of that. That's hard to do, right? The Legion of Boom is one,
right?
And then all of a sudden, I don't know their nickname. I think it's like the Dark Side, something like that. It's different.
Yes.
But they're dominant as well. I mean, that's hats off to John Schneider and what he has done as a general manager over there.
Well, Drake May was pressured on 48% of the times that the Seahawks just rushed for, or fewer. That reminds me of last Super Bowl with Philly. Didn't blitz and still created all that pressure against Kansas City.
Drake May was the one seeing ghosts.
Yeah. And by the way, that's the highest pressure rate while sending 4 or fewer rushers by any team in this postseason. And Will Campbell, who I was betting against just as much as I was betting a Super Bowl MVP to Mr. Hall there.
My man was struggling.
Bro, he gave up 14 pressures. Will Campbell, their 4th overall pick, gave up 14 pressures in one game.
So now there was a bunch of people that were giving him a bunch of bad mouthing him because he didn't decide he didn't want to talk to the media right after the game. How do you feel about that? You just got dominated. You got you know what pushed in.
Yeah.
Embarrassed as a rookie.
He's done talking before. I mean, like he said, I'll protect Drake May with my life. He in the draft process was very confident in himself and had, when it's time to face the music, you should just face the music. You struggled mightily in the postseason.
Yeah.
Ducking the media, it doesn't help. It just makes you look small.
Well, at the end of the day,
like your arms.
Why'd you have to throw that in on my man?
Sorry.
He's already struggling.
Sorry.
He's gonna have to answer the questions no matter what.
Right.
Whether it's last night, today, or when he gets back for OTAs, he's gonna have to come up with a reason why he got his ass dominated.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a left tackle. I really don't. All right, ESPN released their way too early power rankings. What's their view of the 2026 Broncos? That's next.
Does Sean Payton still have a major blind spot in his offense?
Why the hell? And I'm so confused about this, and this is now a third straight year that Sean Payton, for 3 straight years, has failed to incorporate Marvin Mims in a more meaningful way on a Sunday-by-Sunday basis.
He won't obey his eyes.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey men, if you started this new year determined to feel better, stronger, and more like yourself, but you're already dragging, low on energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing progress in the gym, there might be a reason. A lot of those symptoms are classic signs of low testosterone, and Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic can likely help you. Most guys don't realize they start losing 2 to 3% of their testosterone every year in their early to mid-30s. It's gradual, all right? But then you look up and you don't feel like the guy you used to. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, guys, are experts. They've treated tens of thousands of men across Colorado, and now they're offering 4 targeted body composition plans with GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more, all designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. Go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com, take their 2-minute low T quiz, then schedule your $99 consult. You get blood work, a T-test, a PSA test, everything, okay? And if you start treatment that day, your visit's free. Don't wait another year feeling like this. Call them, 720-440-7900, or visit them online at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
I'm Neil, founder of Clay Room. When I found ceramics, I realized my calling was to give others the space to be creative. So I set out to open my own studio. Having a Chase Ink card has allowed us to grow it and bring people together. Now we're molding a creative community.
With the Chase Ink Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Hi, I'm Brad Barnett, president and founder of Mountain High Appliance. Looking for the best deal in town this President's Day? Then stop by our Denver Clearance Center, where you'll find savings of 70% or more on open box, overstock, and discontinued appliances from the industry's best brands, including Bosch, Thermador, KitchenAid, and many more. Hurry in for the best selection, or visit us online and take advantage of these huge President's Day savings. When you think appliances, think Mountain High Appliance.
Mountain High Appliance, your favorite appliance store.
Thank you.
Okay, does this happen to anybody else?
You sit down with a juicy QPC, some McNuggets, and those golden fries from McDonald's. Then you take a long sip of your Sprite because you can still hear your mama saying, "Don't fill up on that drink before you eat your food." But you're grown now, so you do what you want.
Share and share alike with a 20-piece McNuggets from McDonald's for just $6. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach By here. For 50-80 Exteriors, Colorado homes face more risk than ever from intense weather, including wildfire exposure. 50-80 Exteriors prioritizes fire-resistant, non-combustible, low-maintenance exterior upgrades with reliable quality installations. Protect your home with James Hardy siding, TimberTech decking, and Pella Impervia fiberglass windows, all designed to stand up to heat, weather, and time. They also offer 60 months no-interest financing. 50-80 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
ESPN released their way too early power rankings. What's their view of the 2026 Denver Broncos? So they have Seattle number 1. They have Patriots 2. They have Rams 3. And they have the Denver Broncos coming in at number 4. So it's the exact 4 teams that played on championship weekend. Man, I see it and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
Come on. We can start with the Patriots. I'm not putting Patriots number 2 after what I just saw yesterday night. Like, no, they got dominated. Now, do I think they're a bad team? No. Do I think they have a chance next year to make some noise? Yes, because of Drake May, because of Mike Vrabel. They're going to add a couple pieces. They're going to be a tough team. Let's face it. But are they number 2? Heck no. Now, if I had an opportunity to rank the 4, because I know that we can go other ways with this, but just the 4 that were just talked about.
Sure.
It would go Rams, number 1, because of Matthew Stafford, Mr. MVP, and Sean McVay, and just what they have over there.
Why over Seattle? They just the Seahawks just beat the Rams.
Because I believe that with the Rams, they have a lot of their pieces coming back. And I think when you talk about Seattle, all right, once you win that Super Bowl, everybody wants to get paid. Once you win that Super Bowl, everybody wants your players and coaches. And we talked about it. Clint Kubiak is not going to be there next year. He's going to be with the Raiders. So that's going to be interesting to see what he looks like in the silver and black and what he does for Ashton Genty.
Sure.
Other than that, you have players that want to get paid, like Witherspoon, and let's say they don't want to give him the money he wants. Well, he's out of there. He may not be the only one now. I understand they're going to probably keep him. But there's other players that help that team become dominant that may not come back. See, that's why I don't have the Seattle Seahawks number 1.
Okay. Keep going.
So I got the Rams. I got the Denver Broncos number 2.
Wait, hold on a second. So you have the Denver Broncos over the team that we just watched win the Super Bowl last night?
Because for the Denver Broncos, they're more they secured the trenches. Other than JFM, everybody else is coming back from that defense. And Alex Singleton, but we could talk about that. Offensively, you still have to unlock Marvin Mims. If you can get a run game to go with this offensive line that you have solidified. Now, Luke Wattenberg was the last one.
You mean like the run game like Seattle has?
Yeah. We can get Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker's not going to be back with Seattle.
Well, we'll talk about him in just a second.
So let's say we get the next J.K. Dobbins, or J.K. Dobbins comes back and does the same thing but stays healthy this year. Let's see we get more action from Evan Ingram, and Bo Nix continues to grow. They're number 2, baby.
A lot of ifs against a team that just went and won the Super Bowl last night. I cannot in good conscience put the Denver Broncos, as I know I'm doing this job in Denver,
for sure.
so I'm going to piss someone off, but you cannot put the Denver Broncos over the Seattle Seahawks in a power ranking looking ahead to 2026.
Why?
I'm telling you why.
You just got done saying that they were.
You're saying if they get a run game. Well, they haven't had a run game for 3 years.
Guess what?
If they can get a tight end, they haven't had a tight end in a decade.
Did you not say if we had Bo Nix, you'd be in the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But did it happen?
Oh, it didn't.
It didn't.
But this is like we're in the future now, right? Like we get to throw it out there. Who's to say that the Seattle Seahawks are going to be the same team?
Chances are they won't be. They will, and that's why. Look, I would have Seattle first, right?
Okay.
I mean, they didn't just win a Super Bowl; they were dominant. I mean, this is a dominant football team, and who is very well coached. Now, it's a really good point about Clint Kubiak and what that offense is going to look like without him. I mean, he pushed a lot of the right buttons. But I can't have the Broncos over the Seahawks.
All right, so
putting the Rams number 1 is fair if you
Okay.
wanted to see it like that, because I thought the Rams were going to win the Super Bowl all year.
So who are in your power ranking?
I would go Seattle number 1, Rams number 2, and then I would put the Denver Broncos probably at number 3, and then the Patriots 4 if we were to your exercise, if we were keeping it just the 4. It's just too many ifs with the Broncos. Now they have an incredible opportunity to reshape this thing and upgrade it in a major way. I mean, this offseason, goodness gracious, it's got potential to be like just. I heard Cecil saying it's a fantasy football offseason. That like you may be adding wide receiver, running back, tight end, like all these fun skill position players. But we'll see. We'll see.
How many pieces are there away from being a Super Bowl team? We say the if game. They were a half away from the Super Bowl without Bo Nix and without a run game because J.K. went down in week 10.
Yeah. I'd say 5?
5.
I'd say 5 pieces away. I'd say definitely running back. Do you need a running back?
We definitely need a running back.
Okay.
I can agree with you on that.
Do they need a tight end?
They need to unlock the tight end that they have because this tight end is not going anywhere, Evan Ingram, that is, because of the money.
All right, so how is the early returns on Evan Ingram?
Not good.
Not good,
Not
right?
good.
So whether it's an in-house blossoming, I guess, and you see stuff from Ingram in year number 2 that you didn't see in year number 1, that could happen. But I would still say you need better running back play, better tight end play.
Yes.
You need a slot receiver. Haven't had one of those in a very long time.
You have a slot receiver. You just haven't unlocked him.
Who?
That's Marvin Mims. Come on, Z. You don't go in a playoff game, eight receptions, 93 yards, a touchdown, have done some good work last year. All of a sudden this year.
He's great. He's fantastic. I just don't know if he's like a down-to-down route running slot receiver yet. And maybe he can grow into it. I think you need 2 inside linebackers. Do you agree with that?
2 of them. Damn.
Justin Sternad is probably going to look for work elsewhere.
Yeah, he wants a long-term deal. It's not going to be here in Denver. You got Alex Singleton. I don't know if they're going to bring him back. He's an older guy.
My guess is not.
Dre Greenlaw, you don't know what you're going to get out of him. Is he going to be healthy? Is he not? So, yeah, you're going to need an inside linebacker, which I believe they can get in the draft, and they also will, pick one up free agency-wise. So
Sure.
I'm not worried about that. You're going to get those 2 pieces. The one to me is I'm nervous about is the run game.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it has been 3 years, and yet we're sitting here still talking about we need a running back, we need a run game. So I can get on board with that. But you said 5 pieces.
I think right around there. And that's not a lot, though. I mean, when you're talking about the money that they'll have at their disposal, all their draft picks, 5 picks in the first 4 rounds, I want to say. So, like, they're going to have to – they have the resources. They are no longer burdened with the Russell Wilson dead cap situation. If it's just 5 and you have all those picks and all that money, I don't know. Denver Broncos are in great shape. 5, it sounds like a lot. I don't think it is, really.
They're a run game away.
Well, with that in mind, if he becomes available, should the Denver Broncos make a run at the Super Bowl MVP? And can the Broncos learn anything from the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. We'll get to all of that as we are on the doorstep of 40 consecutive minutes of commercial-free sports talk next.
The champ! Are you ready? Do you consider yourself a super fan? Well, now's your chance to prove it. It's Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan Super Fan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040, sending you to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. A pair of 2-night event tickets, airfare, and hotel all included, plus a $500 Visa card. So get in the ring and enter now at DenverSports.com/superfan. That's DenverSports.com/superfan.
What's going on, everybody? If joint pain is slowing you down, stop trying just to push through it. The professionalism at RegenRx Denver Clinic is on another level. These guys actually build a real plan for you. I'm talking about Wharton's Jelly for damaged joints, shockwave therapy to get the blood flow flowing again. They map out exactly what you need. People always ask me, hey Phil, what should I expect from RegenRx? Simple, guys, clarity. They walk you through every step. They show you the options, and then they even schedule a 6-month booster to keep your results elite. That's why I send people to regenrx.co, so go check it out for yourself. And listen, the consultation is completely free, zero risk. If you're dealing with degenerative joints or long-term pain, RegenRx might be the answer. So go to regenrx.co, book that free consult, and then see if the stem cell therapy is the right move for you. If joint pain is holding you back from work, from the gym, from your kids, don't wait. It's about quality of life. Invest in your future self so you can stay explosive. Stay active and stay present for your family. Call them today at 303-630-9770 or visit them at regenrx.co. Again, you can visit them at regenrx.co.
This week's Recovery of the Week is brought to you by Step Denver, the men's residential addiction recovery program in Lower Downtown. Our Recovery of the Week this week belongs to Denver Nuggets guard Christian Brown, who suffered a bad ankle sprain back in the middle of November that kept him out of the lineup until the start of January. But after just 3 games, he had to leave the lineup again. But the good news is he came back at the start of this month and is back playing full-time minutes in his starting role. That was our Recovery of the Week presented by Step Denver, sitting down with Derek from Step. Today's topic is humility. Derek, tell us why humility is so important in recovery and in life in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Zach. In my experience, humility is being able to admit that you have a problem and that you need help. Humility is crucial to someone getting and staying sober. At the beginning, when I first got into recovery, I initially thought that asking for help would be the most difficult thing I'd ever done in my life. But what I learned is that accepting the help ended up being 100 times more difficult. We often tell ourselves that we can stop on our own, that we have control, or that everything is okay. That type of false pride is deadly in my experience, from what I've seen in other people. Every day, our admissions coordinator gets calls from parents, significant others, and loved ones of men struggling with addiction asking if they can fill out an application. We require our applicants to apply on their own accord, because this is the first act of acknowledgement that they need help and are ready to surrender to the process. Our residents pick our program because they know they will be surrounded by like-minded men who are here by choice. These guys are willing to commit to making the effort to change and rebuild their lives.
It's powerful stuff, Derek. If you are struggling with addiction or want to make a donation to help the men who are calling Step to get their life back today, please visit stepdenver.org. That's stepdenver.org.
Hello, Colorado. It's David Szymanski with U.S. Mortgages, and we're celebrating 30 years. Make 2026 your best year ever. Eliminate all your high-interest debts, saving you $500 to $1,000 or more every month. Worried about approval? We have recently expanded our guidelines to help even more people qualify. If you've been told no, we can help say yes with bank statement loans, asset-based loans, non-traditional credit, debt to incomes over 50%, loan to values up to 95% and more. At U.S. Mortgages, you don't need perfect credit either. We help down to a 580 score and even lower case by case. Call now to get a no-risk, no-obligation quote from a BBB A+ rated lender and also get our exclusive lowest rate for life. Our number says it all, 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. Equal housing lender. License 392126. As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Need a new water heater? Euro Plumbing has lifetime warranties, great financing, and low pricing. 720-500-3000. 720-500-3000.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer, exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney, Tuesday afternoons on The Drive, and Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, all season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, Reaction Monday following a Super Bowl Sunday. Football season officially over.
Crazy, man.
It's usually around this time I go into a state of mourning and, man, feel a little bit hollow inside.
You're like, wake me up when it's back.
No, I start turning my attention to, look, Nuggets and Avs are always there, even when football is going on. So I use my spare time that is not Nuggets and Avs and I'll do some shows and stuff with the wife. Who said about 5 minutes after the game was over, it's my season now. And I was like,
no.
wow.
You're like, no.
Wow, Ashley. It's my season now.
Before we get going, man.
Yeah.
I think there's a cool story that you need to tell everybody. And it's with your little team.
Oh, my gosh.
We've been bumping our gums. We've been talking about sports. I mean, like enlighten us on what happened for you this weekend.
Yeah, real quick, I'll read this and I'll tell you a super quick story. Calling all wrestling super fans. We have your chance to go to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. It's the Super Fan Send-Off presented by 303 Law 4040. Here's what you get. A pair of 2-night tickets to the event, round-trip airfare for 2 from Denver to Las Vegas, 2 nights hotel stay, and a $500 Visa gift card. For more information and to enter, head to DenverSports.com/superfan. And if you are a super fan, this prize, as Bret Hart would say, it's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. So I'll real quick. And I don't like to do too much of this because I know like people want to hear us talk about sports and stuff.
For sure, but this is a big moment.
I have been coaching my kid, and we have a really young team. And I'll just be totally honest with you. It's a second grade team. My son's not in second grade. Half of our team isn't in second grade, but I didn't want to wait another year. And so I'm like, we're doing it. And, you know, if it means we're the youngest team, then we're the youngest team. And development at that age, it's massive, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. And
tell me about it.
You should have seen some of the disparity between like the size of these kids throughout our season. So anyway, we won our first game of the year. This is months ago. We won our first game of the year. Never won another game. Phil, we took it on the chin 9 straight weeks.
Yeah, I was the general manager. I thought about firing your ass.
Yes. Rumors were swirling. Seat was scorching. But what I took with me is like every single kid is getting better. I know that for a fact. I know what the development looks like. And our kids were unrecognizable the final week of practice than they were the first week of practice. Like unrecognizable. It's like it gets microwaved. Just quantum leaps forward. And these kids are 7 and 8. And the early practices are just teaching them not to double dribble, not to travel. That's what the scrimmages were. we don't even call it anymore because they've gone such a long way. But anyway, we got our butt kicked Saturday in and Saturday out, and it was tough, because you want it for the kids. And so to lose and lose and lose and lose, it's like the same message of, but we're getting better.
Yeah.
I know we're getting better. And we're better than our record. But you're 1-9.
And they're
right?
like, yeah, coach, sure.
So
do we get ice cream?
The playoffs were on Saturday. And because we're the lowest seed, they give like the first 2 teams buys, I think. And then so we play like the next team. And we're the worst seed.
Yeah.
Okay. We're the worst team in the league. And my little dudes went out and played freaking great and upset this team that beat us initially 17-9. We beat them 20-18. And to see our little guys sprinting around and losing their minds to a team that they were supposed to lose to, and it was just a really cool moment as a coach and a dad who has been encouraging these kids for months to see them go win. And one of them jumped into my arms. I'm holding my other son.
There's a video. You had a video out there. I don't know if it's still there.
It's not still up.
Okay.
But I put on my Instagram story. It disappears after 24 hours. But it was a special moment.
Yeah.
It was. And I'll go into business for myself a little bit. My son is one of the youngest kids. He's 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he went out and scored half our points.
See. Took over.
And to see him, he scored 10 of our 20, but 8 of them were in the first half, 8 of the 10. To watch him take over a game where he is one of the youngest kids, it was just you could have knocked me over with a feather. Just so proud.
Man, parenthood, it's rewarding. It really is, man. And when you have like your kid that finally like it clicks for them.
Yes.
And now they're just out there playing. Like it's not gonna always be great, but they're playing and they understand what they're doing.
Yep.
I'm waiting for little Phil to be like that.
Well, it was just to finish our season. Then you had a 3-hour break. You had to come back, and we got our butts kicked in the second game. But it was like it didn't even matter. It's like our season was made. Watching those kids run around and just be euphoria.
Yeah.
To see them, it was so cool.
Well, I was looking on Twitter today, and it was like breaking news: Zach Bye, fired from Little League. So they end up giving you the boot anyway.
Well, I'll say this: our season's over, and I'm relieved because what you guys don't know is on Tuesdays and Thursdays now for months. Last segment, I'm changing into clothes, and I'm racing to get to a 6:30 practice and coaching these kids. And so, but I'm thrilled that the season's over, and I just have some of my time back to honestly start attending Nuggets games the way that I normally do. I haven't been able to do that because my bandwidth is just so stretched out with this team, volunteering basically 15 hours a month of my time. But it was all worth it on Saturday morning. So
MVP.
It was cool, man. It was cool. All right. So we were having the conversation about running back. All right. Does it make sense? So Kenneth Walker wins MVP. What a time for that guy to win Super Bowl MVP. 1,000-yard season. MVP of the biggest game in American sports in a contract year.
Perfect timing, like Shedeur Sanders would love to say. His song out there playing for my man Kenneth Walker III, also known as K9. I mean, this is what you dream of as a football player. 1, getting to the Super Bowl. 2, winning it. But then all of a sudden, you're the guy that wins MVP, most valuable player of the Super Bowl. That changes your life in the best way possible for many reasons. 1, when you sign autographs and you put your name, you also have to put Super Bowl MVP. And when that happens, you get paid double. So now he's going to make even more money for himself. And the reason why I know that is because of Von Miller, DJ Von the Don. I don't want to put his business out there, but he went to a signing, and I think in 30 minutes made almost $200,000.
That's insane.
Insane. Like, damn, I want to win the MVP.
Gosh.
But also, for someone like Kenneth Walker, now you get to demand more money because it's like, look what I did. I'm a 1,000-yard rusher. I won a Super Bowl. I'm Super Bowl MVP. If you want me on your team, you're going to give me the money that I want. And now that you're a player that has already been there, done that, right? The ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl. That's what you did. Check. MVP. Check. Now I can just worry about my family. Now I can sign for as much money as possible. Now, of course, you still want to be on a good team, but you have the luxury to do that because you put yourself in a great situation by winning the Super Bowl and being a Super Bowl MVP if you're Kenneth Walker.
Well, his market value, according to SpotRack, and I don't know how, he could just be going back to Seattle.
And he could.
And
he could.
And they can franchise tag him if they want. All right? But, His market value, according to SpotRack, which this is just a loose sort of guide here, a loose forecast, it's not gospel, it's 4 years, $38 million. That's an annual average value of around $9 million. That would rank 11th among running backs. Seems extremely reasonable for a back of his talent and the desperate need that exists here in Denver. I just don't know how much the price tag went up after last night.
Does it matter at this point for the Denver Broncos? 3 straight years, Z, you have talked about this. 3 straight years the Denver Broncos have not had a run game. The time is now. Enough's enough. You have the franchise quarterback. You put together this offensive line that you're paying a lot of money for. The defense is doing their part. Now you reward the defense by having a damn run game. You reward your quarterback by having a run game and taking pressure off of him. It's time. We have the money. All right, Russ is not involved anymore. We have a little bit more money to splurge, right, to go out there and make a splashy move. If Kenneth Walker is willing to leave Seattle, then we need to pay that man what he wants. Why? Because you're getting a consistent running back who's only 25 years old. He'll be 26 when he's here. All right, a guy that is consistent in between the tackles, knows how to run the outside zone scheme, something that Sean Payton loves to do, or maybe Davis Webb, if he's the offensive play caller, will do. All right, he's a guy that's very patient, just like J.K. Dobbins, has great vision, low body, right, center of gravity when it comes to his legs. He has big legs, small body, and he runs hard. All right, that's what you're looking for to complement someone like R.J. Harvey. Is he the greatest catcher out of the backfield? No, but he doesn't need to be. He can catch screen passes. He can break tackles for you. You know, like I said, like Sean loves to use multiple running backs. He's used to that. Kenneth Walker, that is used to being in a split role. So if you have an opportunity and Kenneth Walker, also known as K9, decides that he wants to walk out of Seattle, then the Denver Broncos better be the first people in line to try to offer this man some money so we can get this run game back on track so we can get to a Super Bowl. Z, that's my take on it.
Man, I've heard worse ideas. I've heard worse ideas, and he's not, someone on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. I want no part of the injury-prone Kenneth Walker. He's not that injury prone. I mean, he missed 5 games last year, but he's been in the league for 4 years. He played all 17 games this year, played 12 of the 17 last year, 15 of the 17 the year before, and 15 games the year before that. So believe it or not, because they went on to say, give me the more talented and younger Breece Hall. Breece Hall has actually missed more games in his career than Kenneth Walker. So that just comes from a place of
and Breece Hall's a great run back too. I wouldn't mind having him. I'm not going to be upset if we get Breece Hall. Like he's a running back that we know can go for 1,000 yards, that can catch out of the backfield. So I wouldn't be mad either with Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall. Just get a running back in here that can stay healthy and help us out. And I'm going to make a prediction. If we finally get a running back that can go for 1,000 yards this year or this year coming up, we will be in the Super Bowl. We have the quarterback. We have the receivers. We have not even unlocked Marvin Mims or Evan Ingram, who you're paying a lot of money for just to sit there. You have the offensive line, the defense, the coaching staff. You're missing that damn run game. And if you can get a running back to do that and be that threat, that's when you start to talk about the Super Bowl. That's when we're all getting excited for Bo Nix to take that next leap as a quarterback, a franchise quarterback in the NFL.
Well, in a perfect world, let's play a little fantasy football here. In a perfect world, who would you rather have, Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall?
Oh, this is tough, man. I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker. I love his run style, and just me.
Yeah.
Right? Run style. He reminds me more of myself with a smaller stature. He's very patient, where Breece Hall is not as patient, but Breece Hall is going to break those tackles. Both of them have the speed to break it and take it to the house. But Kenneth Walker also, when it comes to just like even kill, he's not going to get too high on himself, not too low on himself. You don't hear him talk a lot on social media.
No.
Breece Hall, you do a lot. That's another thing that you're going to have to watch out for some of these players, is they love to talk. So not Kenneth Walker. And I just think that he knows what he can bring to this table and what he looks like in a Denver Bronco jersey with that offensive line and Bo Nix. I think he complements R.J. Harvey as well, and he's been in that split system where he's willing to give up some carries to another running back where someone like Breece Hall, he wants to be the man no matter what.
Interesting. I think I'd rather go Breece Hall, but the difference is minute. I think Breece Hall does just a little bit better of a job running between the tackles. Yeah. Kenneth Walker consistently bouncing out to the outside, and the way that, like, because everyone knows he wants to do it. and he still somehow finds a way to get to the edge and turn it upfield. And you mentioned the patience. It's so real. He's got real vision. Those are two good running backs. I'd just say I'd take the one that I think is a little bit more traditionally between the tackles, because R.J. Harvey does a lot of bouncing out to the outside as well.
Now, if you have Kenneth Walker in there, he could teach R.J. Harvey the right way to bounce. Since R.J. Harvey wants to bounce, it's like there's a unique way you can do this. There's a talent to it, an art, I should say, to it. But also it's the outside zone, right? Outside zone running backs, they know how to get to the outside, but it's a setup. It's a setup of getting the linebackers to flow a certain way, get their hips turned, and to be able to make that cut on a dime. So I would love to have Kenneth Walker, but also Breece Hall, bring him on. I just need a run game here in Denver so that we can get to that next step, which is Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's ultimately where I end up, because both guys are proven concepts in the NFL. Both guys, one guy's 24 in Breece Hall, the other guy's 25 in Kenneth Walker, should be in their physical prime. You would like to think neither of them have like super scary injury history the way that someone like Dobbins does. So yeah, you have to believe that these conversations are happening in an earnest way over at Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit. All right, this is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, and we are The Drive. Woo! Man, watching the Super Bowl last night, I know, a lot of people didn't like the game. I had no issue with it, and, part of it had to do with my pocketbook, having the under and having Seattle. I told you guys on Friday, Kenneth Walker for MVP, said that multiple times throughout our broadcast, so it was a good night for me. But even additionally, I don't mind watching a dominant defense suffocate an opponent. I really don't, and that's what I thought we saw last night. But I'd be lying to you. Phillip Lindsay, if I said I did not get, call it retroactively frustrated when Seattle went up 9-0 with 3 field goals. They kicked the third one, and I said, game over. This Patriots offense is not coming back on this Seahawks defense, and it did make me a little bit frustrated once again. It stirred up or drudged up the emotion that I had watching the AFC Championship game from Section 127 in Mile High, going, take the points, go up 10-0. It was a similar style game, low scoring, kind of grinded out.
Yeah.
Going up 2 possessions meant everything last night. I believe in my heart of hearts it would have meant everything in the AFC Championship game. Not saying the Broncos would have went and won with Jarrett Stidham. I don't believe that.
No.
And I'll take it a step further. I wouldn't pick the Broncos with Bo Nix to go and beat that Seahawks team. Maybe they would have, right? There's a reason why they play the game, right? My little guy's upsetting their opponent they're not supposed to win, right?
No, that's exactly why you play the game. But I'm with you on that. Even with healthy Bo Nix, do you have enough to beat Seattle, who's a well-balanced team? We're not talking about just the defense, but offensively too. With the run game, with the pass game, special teams. It's just a different story when it's everybody that has to do their part. With the Denver Broncos, I don't know if they would have had enough offensively to hang with the Seahawks.
So you agree that
I do.
Even if Bo is healthy, that you wouldn't have picked them to beat the Seahawks?
Yeah, to me, you need Bo Nix and a healthy J.K. Dobbins, a fully healthy J.K. Dobbins, not the guy that was going to go out there if we went to the Super Bowl. All right, a guy coming off a surgery 3 months, and he's out there trying to break tackles on one of the best teams in the league. That's not happening. But a healthy J.K. Dobbins that's going into postseason healthy with Bo Nix and the rhythm and the momentum he had, we had a shot if that would have happened. That's why, for me, I was frustrated, but not necessarily how you were, where it's damn, we could have been there if Sean would have just kicked that field goal. I was frustrated because it's damn, man, you have Bo Nix that literally got hurt at the end of the game. You have J.K. Dobbins who hasn't been able to stay healthy at all in any of his career. But if those two could have done that for the first time for J.K. Dobbins and Bo Nix would have stayed healthy, what would that have looked like for us? We would have definitely been in the Super Bowl. Now, do we win it even with them? Who knows?
It would have been more
best chance.
Yeah, and it would have, and there's no way of knowing, but my guess is it would have been more competitive than that game was last night.
Yes.
And someone could say, well, why were you frustrated all over again when you just said that the Broncos would have got beaten in the Super Bowl? Because I think even with Stidham, their for everyone involved, there's still incredible value of going to the Super Bowl, going there, being on that stage, not having the journey be over, right? For this fan base, for those players, regardless of the outcome, what it had been, going to the Super Bowl is a really big deal.
It's a huge deal.
And the Denver Broncos could have gone there regardless of what would have happened once they got there. And I just found myself kind of like, damn, Sean, like listen to your own advice that you said to Seth Wickersham of when you were watching the Bears game. Take the points the way that Seattle did in the first half of that game. What do you think that you could maybe learn from the Seahawks?
That the Seattle Seahawks obeyed their eyes and ran that damn football. That if the Denver Broncos want to get to that next step, they have to find a running back that's going to be consistent. They have to find a tight end because even in that game, Sam Darnold was hitting his tight end. You have to find a tight end that can help complement the run game. And we all know defensively, defense wins championships. But I'm looking at that run game saying, dude, we make football so hard. When all you have to do is have the offensive line whoop that ass in front of the running back, and the running back do his job, sustain drives, stay ahead of the chains, and that's something the Denver Broncos were not able to do, and that's something that the Seattle Seahawks were able to do. Even when Seattle struggled passing the ball in the Super Bowl, they could always lean on Kenneth Walker.
Yep.
And, of course, the defense, saying, you know what, let's flip the field, put the defense back out there, let them go to work and have another crack at it at some point. So my biggest takeaway is we must get a run game to complement Bo Nix and these receivers that we have. It starts with the running the ball. 27
carries for Kenneth Walker.
That's crazy.
27. Man. We didn't see any game in Denver like that. And obviously he I was going to say kept on rewarding Clint Kubiak. He goes for 5 yards a carry, 135 yards on the ground. But there was a bunch of those runs that were stuffed at the line of scrimmage, even loss of yards, and they never, ever turned their back on it. They stayed committed to it. And, no, that's I think, definitely a takeaway. For me, like, that organization in Seattle has been incredibly stable, and they have pushed all the right buttons, even when it wasn't popular, to their own fan base. Getting rid of Russell Wilson broke most of that fan base's heart. Now, to some people, they were getting to be out on Russ, but Russ was a great player for Seattle. And having that be the initial domino, according to them, that brought them to this moment, trading away your franchise future Hall of Fame quarterback, I think he's going to be a future Hall of Famer, in Russell Wilson, then also turning around and firing Pete Carroll, right? That's the greatest coach in the history of the organization. Sorry, our relationship's over. Fan favorite, Tyler Lockett. Sorry, our relationship's over. Franchise wide receiver, DK Metcalf. Sorry, our relationship is over.
Tough decisions, man.
Yes, and doing it all seemingly in silence. We don't hear a lot of commotion coming from the Pacific Northwest. We just don't. They are so buttoned up organizationally, doing stuff that is best for the org and not best for the fans and the jerseys that are in the stands. I just think that I'm just really impressed. And for John Schneider, and I know I mentioned this, but for him to create a Super Bowl winning roster and then sever every single tie from coach to quarterback to every positional coach and rebuild a separate Super Bowl team is just incredibly impressive. And hiring Mike Macdonald. There was no sizzle to that hire.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about Mike Macdonald. Truly.
At the start of last year, he could have walked through the fan studios and I don't think anyone would recognize him. That's just not, he didn't have that kind of profile. So just pushing the right organizational buttons over and over and over and drafting well and hitting free agents and then drafting well again and then hitting free agents and then drafting, like they have just really killed it. And it's a really good model that, I know it's not going to be for everyone, but they're a stable organization.
Yep.
And here they are again, winning another Super Bowl.
Well, general manager John Schneider, like the one thing that I think his recipe is I'm going to put together a great defense. Legion of Boom, great defense, scary defense. I'm glad I didn't have to play against them. And in this year, now I don't know their nickname. I don't know if it's the Dark Side, something like that. He created this defense, of course, with McDonald's help because he's a defensive-minded coach. and they were dominant yet again. The last time the Seattle Seahawks won a championship, it was because of the defense.
Yep.
The reason why they won this championship, this Super Bowl, was because of the defense. Let's face it. So John Snyder does a great job of finding talent in the draft, but securing the trenches, obviously defensively, and going from there. And that's why I always say, and you don't agree with it, I know that,
It's semantics. Yeah.
It's defense wins championships. And so when you have a great defense, it's a lot easier for you. And although I will say this, that some people don't understand that Sam Darnold is better than what people gave him credit for. There's a reason why he was a first-round draft pick.
Yep.
He needed somebody that could settle him down but also believe in him. They finally found that place, and you win a Super Bowl with him.
And before you brought in Darnold, and in between departing from Russ, they had Geno Smith, who was a playoff caliber quarterback, and they also said this isn't going to be good enough. We have to move on from him as well. And so, yeah, I'm just impressed. And now they're going to sell the team, and they're talking about that puppy. What did the Broncos go for? 4.5, I think it was, right around there. They're talking about the Seattle Seahawks selling for between $7 and $8 billion. That is nuts.
You want to go half on me?
God
Come on.
almighty.
I'll get half. You get half. We'll own a organization.
I mean, that is nuts. And you talk about, like, Greg Penner and this ownership group buying at the right time.
Yeah.
I mean, they could turn around and sell the Broncos for just as much right now. So it's crazy. Okay. There was a report over the weekend that I thought was interesting, and it came from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, and it relates to the conversation we were having last week about play calling, all right, and Davis Webb. Here's what the report went like. Quote, again, Jeremy Fowler, ESPN. Quote, Davis Webb taking over as the Broncos offensive coordinator is significant beyond the title. I've talked to several people in the league who believe that Coach Sean Payton will eventually relinquish play calling to Webb, a fast riser who had multiple head coaching interviews this cycle. Nothing has been decided as far as I understand. Fowler finishes with, and the decision will be up to Payton, who has called plays at a high level for decades. But it wouldn't be shocking if this happened gradually, end quote. What do you make of the report from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN?
See, we go back and forth, and I think that we've been sitting here saying, hey, like, Davis Webb is going to be calling plays. But also, you put it out there that it's going to be hard for someone like Sean Payton to just give it all up. This is his identity. This is something he has done his whole life, his whole career. It's called damn plays. And now you're saying this young hotshot Davis Webb is going to be the play caller, and I just have to sit there and be the CEO? It's hard to do. Now, with that being said, I can see a situation where it's a hybrid role, where Sean's like, hey, look, I'm gonna do third downs. That's money downs for the coach and the quarterback. You do the rest. Red zone was horrible for the Denver Broncos this year. First and second downs, run game, or be creative with the pass game. I can see Sean doing that and kind of gradually doing it that way. My concern is what happens when Davis Webb gets your full attention, your full trust. You hand it over to him, but he has different philosophies. He wants to do something different. You can't just change up in the middle of the season and say we're going to go all shotgun. Right? That's not how it happens. Like you go through camp for a reason, to work on the plays that you're going to run throughout the year. So how does that look like if you're gonna gradually give him more play calling duties, more for him to latch on to? I don't see that happening. I see it as Davis Webb, you're the offensive play caller. This is your turn now. Now if it doesn't work out, then now I'm gonna take over. But like I want to see what you look like throughout camp. Because that's what needs to happen is I need to see what it looks like camp and preseason.
See, but here's the thing though, because you're touching on a point, and I just want to sort of tug at the thread here.
Yeah.
If Davis Webb is calling plays, is he still calling Sean Payton's offense? Because I don't know. Like Sean Payton's offense is so specific, it's so detailed. You hear guys like Chase Daniel, well, you have to be in it for 2-3 years to really even understand it. Are you losing, if they did want to go down that road, are you losing some of what makes Davis Webb potentially special? And I say potentially because he's never done it. But everyone who intersects with him is talking about how he's just this, like,
greatest thing since sliced bread.
Boy wonder. Yeah. Like, he sees things a different way, and the way he marries analytics and old school football, and is just so unique. Will you lose some of that uniqueness that had Sean Payton fall in love with this guy in the first place and tell him to do a U-turn and get back to the facility? Can't believe we let you go. There was something about him that made you feel that way. And so if he's just running Sean's offense, I think I don't know.
I think he's going to combine some of what Sean once done and then his vision and try to mirror it with each other. This is why you would do that right now. Like you would go, like, the Super Bowl is over. That means offseason begins. That means the coaching staffs are going to be in the building next week. You start game planning. You start to see, like, what your team is going to be like. What do you want to be more known as, right? Your identity, running team, passing team, and then you go to work. You start to come up with these creative plays. So I think for Sean, it's like Davis Webb pitching him what he envisions this team looking like, and then Sean saying, okay, I can get with that, but we're not going to give up this, and this as well. Now, for someone like Davis Webb, maybe it's dumbing down. I say dumbing down, but maybe it's like dumbing down the play so everybody understands. Maybe it's not as many formations,
right?
So the quarterback can understand, okay, like, this is what I have. I don't have to worry about, somebody coming and going every single play. Maybe it's something like that so that they can get to the line of scrimmage faster, they can call the play faster, and they can play free, right? Knowledge equals confidence equals playing fast. The more you know, now you're confident. Now you're just out there playing football, the same thing you've been doing your whole life. And maybe that's what Davis Webb's going to bring to the table, just simplifying maybe Sean's offense.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe that's what it is. But we've seen it a bunch now, the sample size after 2 years, Bo Nix's frustration with the personnel groupings. And I'll circle back to a different point about that in a second, but, like, if Davis Webb sees the game the way that Bo Nix does, you could have play caller and quarterback wanting a different style of offense than the one Sean has been calling for decades. And so there's that. But also, we talk about Bo Nix, like, growing and improving and all this stuff. Part of that, and maybe I'm wrong, but part of that, I think, would be getting up to the line of scrimmage sooner, diagnosing the defense so you start to understand these snapshots of looks and you build that library. I don't think that you can do that to the best of your ability when you're always rushing to get your play call in.
Or you're always thinking about, damn, what did I just say?
Right.
That happens a lot to quarterbacks. Like, they have to know everybody's route, from the running backs to the tight ends to all the receivers. So they're calling this play, calling the protection out. Then they have to think, oh, damn, what do I have to do? Is it a 5-step drop, 7-step drop? And, where's my hot route? It's a lot for a quarterback, especially in Sean's offense, where these play calls are wordy. So you're in there, you're telling everybody to play, and then you have to get there and, like you just said, you have to go out there, process everything, and then go from there. So maybe Davis Webb comes in there, dumbs it all down, makes it easy for everybody to understand it, process it, and now you're just playing football.
Well, I'm fascinated by this. I really am. And the overarching question of, if Davis Webb calls plays, and you think he's going to call plays.
Yes, sir.
And I think he's going to call plays. And I know right now we are in the minority. I said that on Friday. That continues to be the case. But the more you see this report from Jeremy Fowler, and I have follow-up questions, even about the report. So Fowler said over the weekend that nothing's been decided. I just can't. I have to throw a challenge flag at that.
You ain't with it, huh?
If nothing's been decided, then Davis Webb agreed to come back here with a total a mystery box, as opposed to taking an OC job in Philly or Baltimore.
Come on, Z.
He came back here blind. Yeah, there has to be. So I don't believe that nothing's been decided. But he also ends the report by saying, but it wouldn't be shocking if this happened gradually. And how gradual could this transition be? And I think that last part, him saying it could happen gradually, I think right now lends itself to my forecast of the situation, that I think it's going to be more of a hybrid role.
Yeah.
Where you think it's going to be 100% Davis
Webb. I write 22 Weasel, XZ, ZB on a go route on 2. All right, ready? Let's go.
ZB on a go route. Yeah, there goes my hamstring. But like, so when I hear that, and again, this is a report. I'm not taking it as gospel, but I think that last line was interesting. It could happen gradually. Is it more of a, hey, I'm going to give you little appetizers. You're not getting the meal right now. I want to see how you handle this. And then how much would he be willing to give him? And how comfortable will he be giving him play calling duties when say they start 2-2 and it feels like you got to have it in week 5? Say they start 0-2 this year?
No, was it 1-2? It was
1-2. It was 1-2.
1-2.
That game 4, you feel like you got to have it, right? In NFL setting and landscape, like you feel like your life's on the line every week. What does the follow-through look like on the agreement? Because a lot of people say that they want to jump out of a plane, and they do the courses, and they go through it, and then they get up in the sky, and there's a percentage of people that get up there and say, holy smokes, I thought I wanted to do this. I can't. I'm not jumping out of this plane. Sean can agree to do it, but when you're getting ready to jump out of that plane and it's week 9 or week 15 and you're playing for the division, what is the level of trust on the follow-through of, quote-unquote, jumping out of that plane or handing over play calling?
I mean, Z, you said it with Bo Nix. You want to throw him right into the fire. That's the only way he's going to grow. That's the exact same thing with Davis Webb. You can't be halfway in, halfway out. If you tell this man that he's going to be calling plays, then you need to let this man call plays. Now, it may hurt you. All right, it's going to irritate you, but this man has to grow as well. And also, it's all about communication. You don't want your players looking at, oh, damn, 2 coaches arguing about philosophies in the middle of the year. You're not winning like that. So either you trust Davis Webb to call your plays or you let him know you're not going to right off the bat. But don't go back and forth on this. Give him some kind of power and then take away right away. See it through. And maybe this is where we have all these conversations. Maybe like Greg Penner has to step in and say, hey, look, Sean, this is what you said. This is exactly what we're going to do. And if things get shaky or bad, then we can come back to the table and talk about it. But you have to give this young man, Davis Webb, who's everybody's raving about, a true opportunity to show us that he can succeed or fail. No matter what, he needs to show us what he's going to do.
Well, I can't wait to see how this unfolds. I can't wait. And how deep into the offseason does this question persist? You would think, I know I've mentioned this, but it bears repeating. Typically, when you hire a new offensive coordinator, you have a press conference. That's how that typically works.
Yeah.
And there is no press conference announced. And according to Jeremy Fowler and other reports, they have not actually decided on this yet. So right now, it's a lot of speculation. It's reporting. Like Jeremy Fowler has a report on this, but how real is the report? Like, don't be surprised if, he relinquishes play calling. Okay, so but are you saying that he did or didn't? You're not saying that. You're saying they're not decided. It could happen gradual. Okay, but it's a report, but it's like a non-report report. There's nothing real of substance here. And so
we still don't know. What are you going to do, Sean? Time is ticking. It's the off season.
Yeah, we'll see what it looks like as we continue to gather little clues like that non-report report from Jeremy Fowler over the weekend.
The non-report report.
Oh, all right. It was one thing to compare Bo Nix to Drew Brees coming out of the draft. Is it still fair after 2 seasons? We'll tell you who said what next.
Has a troubling trend about the Denver Nuggets been discovered before the All-Star break?
They are not thriving, or in these cases, I guess even surviving, against these really physical basketball teams. And this is how it's going to feel in the NBA playoffs.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
Hey, the cold weather is here. Stoke here from my friends at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Has another company told you that you need a new furnace? Time to throw in the challenge flag. Rocks Heating and Air offers no obligation, free second opinions. And don't forget about heat pump rebates. They've never been better. Up to $13,500 only at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that G.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
HelloFresh makes home cooking nutritious, delicious, and exciting. You excited when you get those freezer-burnt, pre-packaged meals in the mail? I know I'm not. Go to HelloFresh.com to explore plans and menus because nothing hits like home cooking.
Let me ask you something. Is your money doing everything it can for you?
I don't know. How would I know?
Is it automatically saving for special events and keeping you posted on its progress? Like at Huntington Bank?
Oh, no.
Is it tracking your spending so you can make the best choices at the mall?
Nope.
Or setting limits on your teenager's debit card?
Definitely not.
Then it could certainly be doing more.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
I'm Rob Wilhite, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has stood beside Colorado families after serious car accidents. With over $1 billion won, we know how to fight for you. Call 303-GOOD-LAW or visit willhitewins.com. That's willhitewins.com.
Hey guys, your boy Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity. Now, when Team USA is on, you can almost see the moment when the kid starts believing, hey, I could be next. Now, while Xfinity can't guarantee that, they can guarantee something super important. That's your internet price won't change for 5 years. No contracts, no commitments. So, while your kid's ordering online or streaming highlight reels, your Xfinity internet price won't change. It will not budge. And who knows, by the time the next Winter Olympics roll around, your kid could be getting fitted for their very own Team USA uniform. And guess what? You'll be paying the same price for reliable Wi-Fi. And there's even more to enjoy with Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 10 years. That's a $10.99 value each month. Xfinity, imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto-paid with stored bank account. Taxes, fees, extras. Actual speeds may vary.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Babe, your arms look amazing. Working out is paying off.
Thanks. I just wish my chest matched. No matter what I do, I'm frustrated with my man boobs.
Hey, don't beat yourself up. More than half of men have gynecomastia. It's gland tissue, not laziness. Same thing is happening to my friend Trisha's husband. He went to Dr. Cameron Dastery at Modern Surgical Arts of Denver.
For real? You get good results?
He got great results. Call him, honey.
Call today. They're offering complimentary consultations for the fan listeners. 303-470-3400 or at modernsurgicalarts.com.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
It was one thing to compare Bo Nix to Drew Brees coming out of the draft. Is that still a fair comparison? 2 seasons in. Isn't it crazy that we are already 2 seasons into the Bo Nix experience?
Z, time flies. I remember when I was in the league my rookie year, and then I look up and I'm 5 years in the league, and it goes by fast, man. And all of a sudden you look up and you're out of it. So for Bo Nix, I mean, he's getting ready to go into year 3. All right, and in year 3, he's supposed to make a major or take that major jump for that next level for himself with the time, the rhythm, the process, and being more accurate. So it's interesting to see what Bo Nix turns into in year 3. But, yeah, man, time flies.
Well, Chris Sims chatted with our own Andrew Mason out at the Super Bowl. And Sims was asked about Bo Nix, and this is what he said.
Oh, I mean, it's Drew Brees-ish. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, he's Drew, but maybe even a little bit better arm and maybe a little bit better athlete. And now if they can get some weapons there with him, and I do think, Davis Webb with Sean Payton will be a better formula than what they previously had. I just think now they're going to be able to grow the offense and now add some pieces on that offensive side of the ball to where when he throws a 10-yard throw, he can break a tackle and break it for 40 or 50, right? But no, the sky's the limit. That's why this is a special class, these damn quarterbacks. Damn, they're good. They all are.
Fair comparison 2 years in to say Bo Nix is Drew Brees-ish, but with a better arm and a better athlete.
No. It's not fair to compare Bo Nix right now to Drew Brees. Drew Brees, a first ballot Hall of Famer, getting ready to go in. All right, 20 years in the NFL, Super Bowl MVP. The man worked his ass off to get to this point in his life where he can sit here and say, I'm a Hall of Famer. For Bo Nix, he's just starting. Now, can you compare certain similarities like athletic ability? Yeah, they're athletic. Drew was athletic. Now, Bo may be more athletic.
Yeah, Bo's a better athlete.
Than Drew Brees. But Drew Brees also did a lot of stuff the right way, the time, the rhythm, the process, and sitting in the pocket, things that Bo Nix has yet to do yet on a consistent basis is what Drew Brees did all the time, and that's why he's a Hall of Famer. So no, Z, I'm not going to sit here and say it's fair to call or to compare Bo Nix to Drew Brees. Don't disrespect Drew Brees like that.
No, I have to agree with you. And when I think of Drew Brees, I think of someone who was like almost purely a pocket quarterback, and I still see him like these years later, like with his chin up, looking over the offensive line and scanning the secondary. And Bo Nix is someone who loves to get out on the run and actually threw the ball more on the run this year than any other quarterback in the NFL. But here's where I think there's really a disconnect for me personally. When I think of Drew Brees, I think of one of the most accurate quarterbacks in NFL history.
Yes.
Bo Nix was 25th in the NFL in completion percentage this year. So there's just a huge delta between like the hallmark that made Drew Brees and where Bo Nix is currently at.
And for Drew Brees, he had to use his brain a lot more. And like, I don't want to be disrespectful because Bo Nix is smart too, but like Drew Brees understood what he needed to do, right? Dissecting plays, processing the schemes of the defense. Drew Brees knew how to do that. All right, put his team in good situations. Bo Nix is just starting. He's young. He hasn't seen every defense that there is in the NFL yet. That comes with just reps in playing years of football in the NFL. So we can't compare those two right now.
No, not right now. 13-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl MVP, first ballot Hall of Famer. I love Chris Sims. I do. I do. But it does like beg the question. Well, okay, so who does Bo Nix remind you of? And we're going to have some of those conversations tomorrow and try to think of a comp maybe in the last 25, 30 years that Bo Nix reminds us of. Here was more sound from the Super Bowl. This was another Hall of Fame quarterback, Super Bowl champion, Kurt Warner, asked about what he likes about Bo Nix.
I think he's done some incredible things. He's an unbelievable playmaker. I think he's got all the ability to be a really, really special player in the game. The one thing that I want to see him continue to work on is just a little more poise and calm in the pocket. Yeah. I talked to him earlier in the year, and he loves to be on the move. He loves his feet moving, which I understand that because he's a great thrower on the run. But sometimes there's some opportunities out there if he just settles in a little bit more. But that'll come. I mean, to have his team as the number 1 seed in his second year, to continue to make strides, all the comeback wins. I mean, very impressed with how he's carried himself.
Very impressed with how he's carried himself. Pretty cool to hear a legend, speak glowingly about Bo. But there was also some stuff that he wanted to see there in the middle of that response, saying, "Hey, sometimes just a little bit too frenetic and eager to get the heck out of the pocket."
Happy feet. That's what I look at it as. It's happy feet. Knowing that you can use your legs because you're athletic enough to do that. Knowing that you may not trust the process when it comes to the offensive line holding up long enough to let a play to develop. That just takes time. It takes trust. It takes confidence. And it's the reps. All right, letting the game slow down for you. My rookie year, I had a great rookie year, Z, but the game was still fast, and I did not understand some of the blocking schemes. I did not understand how to pick up some of the blitzes. Year 2, it slowed down for me, and I was like, okay, now I can slow play this a little bit more. So it's just time back there, and for a quarterback, think about it. So many things are going through your head, from the protections to everybody's route to the 7 or the 5-step drop that you have to take, the hot routes, like everything. So Bo Nix just needs to go through this process, go through these growing pains, and then you develop that way. Time, rhythm processing, sitting in the pocket long enough for a play to develop. I want to see that from Bo Nix this upcoming year, and I think we will, just as he matures and as he gets older.
Yeah, no doubt. And he will. I mean, he is 2 years into the Bo Nix experience. Hard to ask for much more, really, at this point. Like, that's within reason. Do you want to see some stuff cleaned up? Absolutely, but you should. Who's a polished, perfect quarterback after 2 years? You're not going to find one. So on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043, someone doesn't like us quoting Bo Nix's completion percentage because there were so many drops this year. That's definitely part of the story. There's no doubt. But also at the same time, Bo attempted over 600 passes this season.
Way too many.
Most in the National Football League. So it is fair with a sample size like that to reference his completion percentage because, he had drops. There's no doubt, and that's part of this discussion. But you think of the first half of the year, just how many receivers he missed.
Yes.
Overthrowing wide open receivers. So it's a little bit of
or
both.
Or bulleting a ball right in at 10 yards from a receiver and making it hard for a receiver to catch the ball. Everything matters. It goes hand in hand. Yes, the receivers have to catch the football, but the quarterback has to have a catchable ball too. Like, take some off of it. When there's a 5-yard route, a 10-yard route, and understand there's a time and place for everything, and that's something that Bo Nix can get better with.
Yeah. And someone says, Bo was so great. He was tweeting in the middle of his broadcast about Bo. That was true. He was the person who did that. I forgot about that in this moment. So he's speaking glowingly about Bo, but when you did his game, remember he was tweeting like, "I can't believe they put me on a game where
like, look at this guy.
The forward pass is not allowed." I mean, yeah, that good point. All right, RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. What do we expect to see tonight on the hardwood as the new look Cavs come into Denver with James Harden? We'll talk about that. Also, NBA All-Star Weekend will include a Denver sports twist we haven't seen in over 20 years. That's all next.
Do the Denver Broncos need to take a sledgehammer to one of their position groups on offense?
I'm ready to, other than RJ Harvey, completely redo, take full demo to the running back room, save RJ. You got to go get free agent running back, draft a running back, remake that room.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Dan Jacobs of 303 Law 4040 and Jacobs Law with another cool story to share. James called 303 Law 4040, and he's like a lot of our clients, not looking to get rich, but he just didn't want to get stuck with a bunch of medical bills. So we met with James like we do all of our 303 Law 4040 clients in person, and it's a good thing we did because we noticed James did not look so good. We sent him to the hospital to get checked out, and they did wind up admitting him. In the end, we got him feeling better and $125,000. He was over the moon. He came into the office to pick up his check and rang that victory bell. And the really cool part is James surprised us with a check of his own, a donation so we could keep the best free meal in Denver coming each and every first and third Thursday. If you've been injured, you may be like James, not looking to get rich, but not sure what to do. That's why we're here to help. Just give us a call at 303-LAW-4040. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303-LAW-4040.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, a Promenic restorative health practice.
2026 is shaping up to be an amazing year to buy a home in Colorado. If you've been dreaming about getting into your first place, upgrading for more space, or downsizing for a simpler lifestyle, now is a smart time to start planning. And the first step is easy. Get pre-approved. With American Financing, you can get it done in 24 hours or less, so you'll know exactly what you can afford before you start shopping. Rates have been dropping, home prices are steady, and more homes are hitting the market. You could score the right home at the right price and lock in a monthly payment that fits your budget without stretching yourself thin. And unlike renting, every payment you make goes toward your future, not your landlord's. And here's a misconception we love to bust. You do not need 20% down. Many buyers purchase with as little as 3% down. So if home ownership is on your 2026 goals list, let's make it happen. Call American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans, at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, final segment here on a Reaction Monday. A lot of our show reacting to Super Bowl 60 yesterday, and we'll finish up talking about the guys on the hardwood down at Ball Arena. Man, I am really looking forward to this game tonight as the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are playing fantastic basketball, who have just added James Harden into the fold. I mean, seeing Harden in a Cleveland jersey is going to be different. That is for sure. We'll talk about the inner workings here in just a second. But first, calling all wrestling fans, we have your chance to go to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. Here's what you get: a pair of 2-night tickets to the event, round-trip airfare for 2 from Denver to Las Vegas, 2 nights hotel stay, and a $500 Visa gift card. For more information and to enter, head to denversports.com/superfan. If you are a wrestling superfan and you win this prize, as Bret Hart used to say, this prize will be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Okay, tonight, Nuggets rolled the Bulls by the final score. They won by 16 over the weekend.
There's context.
Yeah, the game was frustrating at points. It actually felt like the Nuggets could be in jeopardy to lose in different temperature points during that game. But during that game, they welcomed back Cam Johnson, and it was just good to see a healthy Cam Johnson running around and playing 27 minutes.
Yeah, he was very efficient, especially he was 2 for 3. 2 of 3 when it came to shooting a 3-point shot, which that's why he's here. He's here to be aggressive at the perimeter and just going out there and having 14 points. Z, like, he's been out. He's been sitting there watching his teammates. Now he's implementing to the team and the offense and the defense, and he's doing better. Like, it's good to see that. Now, can he be consistent? That's what I want to see moving forward, because we're going to need him. We're going to need everybody if we're going to win a championship. And then on top of that, I mean, Jokic looks a lot better. He's starting to have more of the confidence. He had that triple-double. Everything's going to work through him. So let's see what can happen for him tonight.
Yep, Jamal Murray will play. All right, if you missed it over the weekend, he did leave that game early. And it was one of these things like, it just, you can't make this up.
No, you can't.
You can't make it up. I mean, just one hit after another. Thankfully, not that serious. He'll play. So slowly but surely, you're kind of getting some guys back. Jokic is back. Cam Johnson is back. Christian Brown is back. I will say this, though, watching that game over the weekend. Been talking about his lack of confidence on the perimeter.
CB.
Mm-hmm. He was the only starter to not attempt a 3. And there was one of them where it's like, yeah, you shoot that. And they call them, it's a newer term, they'll call them record-scratching threes, where you have a wide open three, and in the flow of the game, everything about it makes sense to shoot it. It's like, nope, not going to shoot it. And it's just like, you kind of cringe.
So the confidence is just not there with CB.
Nope, it's not there from the perimeter. It's not. Now, he got to the free throw line. He looked much better in transition, which is a good place to start. But let's just keep our eye on that. 10 points and 4 of 6 shooting. Most of those were right around the rim. Got to the free throw line twice. We'll see what it looks like here. Another chapter since his return. And then, Strother also, man, you got to give Julian Strother credit. A month ago, I wasn't sure if he was a viable NBA player, literally, and I still don't know if we know that definitively yet. But he is getting opportunities from David Adelman. So good for Adelman. Kind of going back to the well, and Strother has rewarded Adelman. I mean, he's got probably 5 good games here in the last 2-3 weeks.
Which hopefully that builds some confidence for David Adelman to say, hey, look, if we need you in the postseason, then we can lean on you for a game or two. Because if we all remember, last year, Julian Strother had a game where he went for 15 points against the Thunder.
Game 6.
And did a really good job. Now, of course, we're not looking for Julian Strother to be out there all that much, but you also want that depth. You need somebody that can come in, shoot that three-point shot, give somebody a breather. So I hope Julian Strother can continue to just build off this confidence. And with CB, I want to see him shoot more tonight. And I believe Jokic is going to force him to shoot more. You know how Jokic can get, where it's like, hey, they're going to pass it to me in the paint. I'm going to kick it right back out.
Yep.
I'm going to force you to shoot that three because I want you to gain the confidence. Why? Because now it's going to spread that court. It's going to be easier for Jokic to do his part and get everybody involved. But you have to shoot that 3-point shot.
All right, we'll see. And real quick before we move on, Tim Hardaway Jr. just continues to be a revelation off the bench for these Nuggets. What an ad. What an ad. I just love watching this guy play. He was in a bit of a slump a couple weeks ago. He is out of it. He is 14 points a game off the bench. Are you kidding me? I said going into the last break, NBA All-Star Weekend will include a Denver sports twist we haven't seen in over 20 years. Jamal Murray competing in the three-point contest. I now officially have something to look forward to on NBA All-Star Weekend, which is a sad statement for me. I've watched it my whole life, and I used to be one of my favorite weekends of the year. No longer the case, but Jamal Murray competing in the three-point contest, he's shooting over 43% from behind the arc. It's 12th in the NBA. It's second among all the participants, and it's got a loaded field. Devin Booker, Dame Lillard, Tyrese Maxey, Con Knuppel, the rookie out of Charlotte and out of Duke, first-round pick, Donovan Mitchell, Norm Powell, Bobby Portis Jr., really, really fun field of three-point shooters, and Murray is absolutely live to win this thing.
Okay, I was going to ask, does he have a good chance to win it? Now, Jamal, he's shooting at a high level right now when it comes to shooting the three. Jamal Murray also has told us that he's going to take all this serious. So I can't wait to see what that looks like with the All-Star game, but also with the three-point contest. Can Jamal Murray pull it off? It would be great to see him do that, man, reward himself for all the hard work he has put into this moment.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing this. I really am. The last Denver Nugget to participate in the NBA three-point contest, I asked this as a trivia question last year. Of course, they bellyached about it. But it was Vashawn Leonard back in 2004 was the last Denver Nugget to win or to participate in the event. And I believe actually won that event back in the day. All right. Really fun show, fun conversations. We'll do it again tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We already have some really fun stuff as we really get into the Denver Broncos offseason as the NFL season has officially come to a close.
Hey, good job, Coach. Good job, Coach. You won your playoff game. I still fired your ass.
I did.
Good job.
Me and my little 7-year-olds, we did it. We won a playoff game. First time, and we won a game in months. Guys, thanks.
Possible.
Thanks for being here with us. We'll be back tomorrow. We step aside. It's Denver Sports Tonight coming up next.
Does Sean Payton still have a major blind spot in his offense?
Why the hell? And I'm so confused about this, and this is now a third straight year that Sean Payton, for 3 straight years, has failed to incorporate Marvin Mims in a more meaningful way on a Sunday-by-Sunday basis.
He won't obey his eyes.
Denver Sports 104.3. The The Fan.
Hey guys, your boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if you can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house all cash and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Hi, I'm Brad Barnett, president and founder of Mountain High Appliance. This President's Day, enjoy huge savings at all of our showrooms. Whether you're replacing a single appliance or planning a full kitchen remodel, we've got you covered. From freezers starting at $199 to complete kitchen packages starting at only $19.99. Plus, save up to $4,200 on select KitchenAid packages. And our price match guarantee means you'll always receive the best pricing. When you think appliances, think Mountain High Appliance.
Mountain High Appliance, your favorite appliance store.
Thank you.
Stoke here from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auction for over 40 years, and they got one of my favorite auctions that's open for bidding right now that's ending on February 11th at 9 o'clock. Over 290 items in this, a government fleet vehicle and equipment auction. Always one of my favorites. It's got SUVs, sedans, pickup, utility trucks, dump trucks, police vehicles, trailers, various municipality equipment, and so much more. Open for bidding right now. Go see it all. Get yourself a great deal at rollerauction.com.
Hey, Mom. It's me. Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Hellsberg. Just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something with up to 40% off gifts at Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Mike Rowe here with another fun fact. If your concrete is cracked or uneven, you can actually lift it back up. Whether it's a sinking driveway, a patio, or a sidewalk, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to lift your concrete slabs. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
I am down 60 pounds because of SodaWeightLoss.com. The weight came off a few years ago, and it came off naturally. And I got to tell you, having my own nutritionist, someone who was always available via text, made all the difference. It's real support from a real person. That's what keeps you consistent with SodaWeightLoss.com. Soda is the #1 weight loss company in America for client satisfaction and results. Clients look and feel 10 years younger, just like I do. I move easier, I sleep better, I got my confidence back, baby, and all thanks to SodaWeightLoss.com. And here's the best part. Join now and your partner joins for free. You start together, you support each other, and you both get younger, feeling healthier versions of yourselves. Call them up, 1-866-800-SODA. That's 1-866-800-SODA. Join Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. Go to SodaWeightLoss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com. Soda Weight Loss is, say it with me, it's got to be state of the art.
Hello, Colorado. This is David Chemansky with U.S.